Panther fans unite for a second time. If you knew behind the scenes how ridiculous Tony Dunn is, it's the C3 Friday free for all brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com, aka the C3 Panthers podcast, the longest running Panthers podcast. And tonight's the show where you get to control the conversation, dictate the terms, as long as you don't show that. But it's the free for all where you can come on. We post the link. You can be a part of the show, and you can hang out with these guys who own this show. The greatest Panther fans you're going to find on YouTube. Panther Pickle, how are you?
I'm doing good. Been a little bit down all week, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's this time of year, I guess. Or it seems like it's this time of year every year now. But, one of these days, we're going to rise to the top. If
Uh,
you are a Panther fan and you thinking about going to another team, you're going to miss out.
well, nobody really goes to another team. If you do go to another team, you sorry and you want a fan. I mean, I
That's
ain't a
true. That's
gatekeeper
true.
fan, but like, you got to weather the storm.
Yep.
We're on the same ship, hoping to find land sometime.
Yep.
And boy, I tell you, you weren't the only one that had a tough week. Uh, man, Nick, I got for probably the first time in a few months just straight hammered on the podcast last Tuesday. That final hour, all of a sudden, the rum. I was drinking liquor and it just hit me, and I was trying to keep it together. I have not even gone back and looked at it. Tough week for Tony Dunn on the podcast because this team stinks, Nick.
It does, man. It does. But hey, at least you don't have to drive all the way down from Massachusetts just to see them play the Steelers and get their ass kicked. And to also see the Lions on Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to me.
Holy cow! The patron of C3 is in the house. Just don't care with a $10 super chat. We appreciate it. You can support the show by subbing up, hitting the little bell to get notified, pressing the thumbs up, participating in the chat, and coming on the show just like my bastard son. I can't believe he showed his face in my house again. What's up, white chocolate espresso?
Not much, man. I'm just chilling. Trying to stay out of trouble. Not
All right.
drinking the podcast.
Yeah.
Obviously saves you for last being, his illegitimate son.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I like son.
Save the last for last. No, look, the Carolina Panthers are struggling, guys, and they welcome in the San Francisco 49ers. I was just, I'm lucky. I am lucky I popped up here. I thought everything was going well. I mean, was already under control. And I was just sitting over here on the couch making a short.
Fucking dude.
Making a short. Can he hear us?
I can, man. Dude, I'm having so many problems. I was going to debut my brand new microphone. And, dude, it was sounding so fucking crisp, man. But now I can't get my Bluetooth working. And I had no way to hear anyone, man. So, damn it, I've been foiled again. But thank you, Tony, for jumping in and saving your boy.
Well, we just got started. We just went live after me. I got up here and I thought they were already live. And I was like, oh, where's Cody? They said, he's had a problem. I said, you guys haven't introed the show? They said, no. And so I just started going, well, let's do it. And I was just talking and talking and talking, and the show won't even live. So we are here. We're here. But guess what? Just like the Panthers were struggling, the Panthers, what's struggling more is Cody Lashney's audio setup or the Carolina Panthers. I tell you this, I was sitting on that couch over there, Cody, making a short. I was just making one of these new shows. I've been trying to get us to diversify our content, right? And this is going to be a good one. But today, I kind of delved into the San Francisco 49ers, and let me tell you, this could very well be a massacre, Panther fans. The worst offense in the league in yards per game is the Carolina Panthers. The best defense in the league in yards per game is the San Francisco 49ers. They lead like almost every statistical category you can imagine, from yards to only 11.5 points per game. They're a nightmare matchup for the Carolina Panthers. And last week they had 36 pressures against the Rams. And just to put this into some context for you, The Rams only had, with the mighty Aaron Donald, only had 5 pressures on Jimmy Garoppolo. This Panthers defense is going to have to score 21 if we want to win this game.
On defense, no less, because our offense is just it's just painful to watch right now. And then I'm trying to find this stat that I had saved, and it's about the Panthers' run game. That we're averaging 6 point something yards per carry.
Panther fans.
Yeah, we're like number 32 in rush attempts.
I think we might be last in rushing yards too.
It's really embarrassing right now, man. The fact that we have all the talent to be able to run the football, but yet we're not, man. Hey, has everyone gotten an intro? You know, I got to make sure everybody got the intro. Except for,
you and Drew are left.
Yeah, and then Alex is here. Alex, what's up, brother?
Alex,
what's up, guys? Sorry, I came in and out. I apologize, but how you Friday? How's your guys' Friday going?
Dude, mine could be better, man. If I could get I was so excited, y'all, because I got my microphone going last night. My voice sounded all crispy and smooth and sexy. I was really prepared to come up here and give CK a run for his money, but I'm still stuck with this trash-ass Logitech headset for the time being, but I will get it fixed. I vow that I will get it fixed. But you know what, man? I think it's a good Friday no matter what, because I'm able to sit here and hang with my boys. Tony was able to come in to save the day. And you know what? For that, I would like everybody to hit that thumbs up. Tim already knows. Smash that like button. Hit the subscribe. Hit that notification bell for every single time that we go live. We normally save the breakdown for the end of the free-for-all, but since we're already talking 49ers, I just want to jump into this. Obviously, this is one of the better teams in football. This is one of the best coaches in football. You can debate it, but this team has been very far into the playoffs and even the Super Bowl the past few years. So what kind of chance are we giving the Carolina Panthers this Sunday, and what is our path to victory, if any?
So I'll go first on this one, man. So last time we played the 49ers, Kyle Allen was our quarterback, okay? We got smoked 51-13. My question is, what's going to be the worst ass kicking? What we got back then, or what we're going to get this Sunday? Because I don't see a way in hell that we're winning this game. Not with how we've been playing.
Yeah.
Our defense has been playing good. It's our offense that has severely struggled, and it all revolves around both Baker and Ben McAdoo. They just aren't on the same page. So their defense is lights out. Nick Bosa is insane. We aren't stopping that.
Can I bring up 2 things though?
Okay.
The Bears beat the 49ers 19-10. Their offense
with Trey Lance.
All right, but then you got what was it? The game? Oh, Broncos beat them 11-10.
Was that with Trey Lance or was that with Jimmy G?
Jimmy G.
Okay, was that Jimmy's
Jimmy
first
G's
game?
First game, yeah.
Yep.
And a division game on the road.
The Rams, they're not the Rams of last year.
Also, remember that both there's a strong possibility because Woods is questionable. There's a strong possibility the Panthers go into this game with no starting safety. Our starting safeties could be Hartfield, and Shane Chandler.
And probably Justin Burris. Will probably get the start
off the practice squad. Also, one thing is that the Panthers have also lost to the Cardinals and to the Giants and to the Browns. So if we want to put it like what they got,
I'm just saying they're not the killers. I think you think they are.
I think any given Sunday, honestly. I mean, I know I'm saying it as a Panthers fan or anything, but I mean, any given Sunday, anything could happen. I think if we could possibly win the turnover battle this week, we got a shot. As Kyle Shanahan said, we've lost the turnover battle in almost every game except the game that we won. So Easily we could have been 4-0. I know, like Panther Pickle say, that's Kyle Shanahan's thing, pumping our team up, pumping up teams.
He does.
So,
but,
yeah, I mean, but anything could happen.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I like Kyle Shanahan. I think he's probably, to me, in my opinion, I think he's one of the best coaches in the league. I really do.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna play a clip. I know Tony was very impressed with Kyle Shanahan. He put it on Twitter. I am too. I've always been a fan of Shanahan and what he's able to do. Hey, real quick, let me add Jim into the conversation. Jim, welcome to the free for all. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. Can y'all hear me fine?
Yeah, loud and clear. How you doing?
Yeah, doing good, man. Doing good. Glad to be back on. Thanks for
yeah, man. Happy to have you back on. What are you thinking about this matchup this week as the Carolina Panthers welcome the 49ers to town?
Yeah, I think it's man, it's tough. I think it's an unlikely day. I think it's wishful thinking to think that the Carolina Panthers offense is going to get the ball rolling against this 49ers defense. As a Browns fan, I saw Baker play against this defense back in 2019, and it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, I mean, so look, before this season, Baker Mayfield divided this Panther fan base.
Yeah,
because there was a lot of people that were excited for Baker Mayfield, and I was not one of them. I just flat out was not one of them. I kind of felt like Baker Mayfield, we were hoping that he would be a marginal upgrade from Sam Darnold. But now we're honestly having discussions about, do we wish we had Sam Darnold instead of Baker Mayfield? Let me ask you this. Baker Mayfield has already had more batted passes this season through 4 games than he had all of last year. Is this a product of Baker Mayfield's new throwing motion? Or is this something that Ben McAdoo's offense is maybe producing a little bit more from Baker?
That's a fantastic question. I think it's the product of Baker being allowed to be Baker without a great coaching staff around him. So I think it's both. I think it's Baker just not finding good throwing lanes, but I think it's also the coaching just not doing him any favors. I think that people didn't appreciate how great Kevin Stefanski managed Baker in games, especially in the 2020 season, and helped him actually really have success in that offense. And I think we're seeing that now with the Panthers. I thought Baker would do better, actually. I thought he'd be doing a lot better than what he's doing right now. I was dead wrong.
I think we all did. I mean, I wasn't even a big believer in him. And I thought that it would at least be an upgrade over last season. Yeah. But it hasn't even been that at all.
Yeah. I'm actually really questioning too if Baker is actually better than Sam Darnold. As bad
we all are. Yeah. I think we all are. I want to get everyone in on that question. All these batted passes, man. I feel like I'm watching a girls' beach volleyball match. Every time I watch Baker Mayfield play football, there's so many batted balls. My question is to all of you, is what is going on with the batted balls? Like, do any of you think that our offensive line needs to start getting the hands down? Like, what is this?
I mean, that's what I've heard from like a lot of the experts. They say most of those batted balls are like offensive line reasons. But I mean, who was JJ Watt? They call him JJ SWAT for a reason.
Yeah,
like, that's what he does. He just
but that I've heard that too, my friend, and I think that it's a literally combination because there's a guy on ESPN that was on WFNZ this morning. He said it's all because Baker Mayfield's short. Well, I texted in and said that's a moron statement. Get the moron off the show. And T-Bone texted me back and said that's a little harsh. I said it's the truth. I named him all the quarterbacks in the NFL that are shorter or as short as Baker. They don't have that problem.
Right.
But here's what I think. Baker likes to throw sideways. So if I calculate, if we calculate that in between his height and the fact he throws it sideways, and maybe with the relatively new offensive line, is that maybe all those combination together are working against that issue. I know it's kind of cliche, but maybe a little bit of time will heal that.
Yeah. And Pickle, before we go forward, I want to make sure that I get to this, that we're doing our due diligence here. Shout out to Just Don't Care for the $10 love bomb. Just Don't Care. Look, this man is so funny that his name is Just Don't Care, because this man cares. This man cares about supporting the C3 Panthers podcast. Much love to you, Just Don't Care. And then Kyle with the $2 says Allen and Herbert had led league in batted passes in 2021. So kind of going to what Pickle was saying, that the insistence that it's a height thing is maybe a little overblown.
The best part about that, though, real quick, the best part about that is at least he's not 36 years old, and we didn't sign him to a 5-year contract with $242.5 million. Give up, what was it, 3 first-round picks, multiple players, and second-round picks. Denver Broncos, you're all iced up.
They deserve it. I love it, Pickle. I freaking love it. And they deserve it. It couldn't happen to a better football team. They always used to bring it in, like a Peyton Manning, like bringing someone in to win a Super Bowl. They thought they were going to do the same thing. And the only thing Russ can cook is a pack of ramen, it seems, man. God, that has to be one of the steepest downsides I can remember in recent history. Here with Russell Wilson.
They're talking that the Denver Broncos could make his coaching change before us. How the hell is that shit working?
That's crazy. Like, what change are you going to make? He had receivers that were open just about all night, and it's like he's not seeing them, or he's just not hitting them.
That last play, he pretty much changed it and killed them. I mean, it's just
And yeah, like I said, shout out to our guy Al. He said he just has to slide his feet and not bail out. I've always thought that about Baker Mayfield, that even when he has a clean pocket, you see him drifting. Like he's drifting to one way or another. And it's like if he just planted his feet, made his base, and threw the football, I think you would stop seeing so much inaccuracies. And I think he would actually be able to hit his receivers on time.
It's crazy how terrible his pocket presence is. It's awful. Like he runs himself into pressure so much, and I can't tell you how many times I saw him in Cleveland, just in a fine pocket, just all of a sudden get happy feet and start dancing out of the pocket right into pressure and get sacked.
There was a play I saw on Twitter. I watched it on 22 this weekend. I almost didn't watch it because it was so sorry, but there was multiple times wide open receiver DJ Moore in the flat wide open. But he had multiple receivers open. He steps back, throws the ball, and hits the back of the helmet of Corbett, our right guard.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to reach out, smack Baker Mayfield, and say, "Come on, man." But
no one even saw a scenario where we would be like honestly hoping that Sam Darnold would get healthy soon. Like we were trying everything in our power to get away from Sam Darnold, and then now it's like, we're begging to go back to him. It's just like this Panthers purgatory that we're stuck in, man.
It's the same shit with Teddy Bridgewater, dude. Same exact thing. History repeating itself once again.
Yeah. It's so what do you think changes can even be made at this point in time? Like, do they understand that it's time to run the football? Like, what adjustments will be made?
Yeah, I mean they need to just run the football a little bit more. I think just run the football, play action pass. Honestly, like as far as like coaching staff and all that, I don't think that's really gonna make much of a difference with the season already where we're at. I think it's all. I mean, when it comes to all of that, obviously, I think it's a little bit more upper management than anything. I think too many hands are in the cookie jar, my opinion. But yeah, I think if we run the football, not turn the ball over, play solid defense like we have been the last few weeks, I think you always put yourself in position to win a football game that way. That's what I think, honestly.
Yeah. And it's also knowing that they're such a good running football team. This team, they can run the ball with the best of them. I mean, they've always been able to do that. It's just, how long is our defense going to be a hold up? Because I feel like our defense always comes out playing really well. They're so good in the first half. But as time goes on, our offense continues to not be able to put up points. And our defense is just left out there on the field to dry. Like, they're constantly out there, constantly fighting to stop the offense. It's almost like a lost cause. Is there any chance that we could maybe play some complimentary football this Sunday? Or is our defense, like Tony alluded to earlier, is our defense going to pretty much have to do everything?
You got to run the ball. That's the only way you're going to help your defense.
Yeah, and you have to run the ball, and you're also going to, because eventually, teams they're going to hone in on McCaffrey and the run game. I mean, that's what teams do. Really good teams do. So you're going to have to, convert on some third downs. I mean, it's going to have to happen, or you're not going to win any game. So, I mean, try to get those third and shorts, third and twos, third and threes. It's when we're down, a few touchdowns, when it's third and 15, third and 11. That's when it's going to be a long day.
The plays are there. The plays all year have been there. It's just to be honest, it's just, you got to make that throw, and you've got to make that block. You've got to make that catch. I know this team has infinite love for Ian Thomas. I don't understand what it is. But
yeah, guy's trash.
They seem to love him for whatever reason.
Baker seems to love him too.
There may be, well, maybe Baker can loan him a pair of hands. Well, maybe we don't want that, Anyway, so but you've got to make those connections, because if you watch tape, they're there. They're all there. Yeah. The routes, I know a lot of people are giving McAdoo down the road, but it's there.
Yeah. Shout out to Matt Knows Nothing. He mentioned that the YouTuber, the QB School, who I like a lot. I've watched a bunch of his videos. He says that Baker was missing a lot of open reads last week. And I think part of this goes to kind of what me and Jim were talking about. It's like, when you're never comfortable behind the pocket, it's like you have that nervous energy. It's like you're not doing the things that you need to do. So, for example, Pickle, you mentioned that height doesn't have to be such a problem. Well, right. If you look at other shorter quarterbacks, like a Drew Brees, that ball was always out on time. And nothing was more important to Drew Brees than going through his progressions at a fast clip and knowing when to get the football out of his hands. And I think that's something that not only Baker Mayfield isn't doing, but the Panthers and their offense isn't putting Baker in a position to even do what he does best. Run the football, but take opportunities to take some shots downfield off of play action, roll them outside of the pocket, get him moving a little bit. And it's just like there's none of that. The only time you see Baker moving is when he essentially feels like he has to leave the pocket. I wanted to play this clip for you guys. This is Kyle Shanahan. And, dude, who makes the Panthers sound better other than Kyle Shanahan in this clip right here? My goodness.
A team that could very easily be 4-0. I mean, there's only one game that they've won the turnover battle in, and they pretty much dominated that game. Last week versus Arizona, you see the end score and it doesn't look close, but they had every chance to win that. And it was, I want to say 10-10 in the fourth quarter, 13-10. You look week 1 versus Cleveland. They had 2 turnovers or 1 turnover. Cleveland had none. They still kicked a game-winning field goal you thought it was game-winning field goal with like 30 seconds on the clock, but Cleveland ended up hitting a 58-yarder to beat them with no time. You look at the Giants game, they turned the ball over the first 2 plays of the game, or the first third down, the opening kickoff, then the first third down. They lost that 19-16, a game I thought they should have won. So you see a team that I think is playing really good defense. I think they have some talent on their offense. They've gotten in trouble just turning it over a little bit, which has hurt them. And I think that's similar to us. So I don't look at their record and think any differently.
So is this dude
How do you
just
like them
blowing
backhand
smoke?
comments?
Is he being a gracious competitor, Kevin? What's
He's
going
being
on?
a
with
dick.
this?
He's
I
giving
didn't
us
think that.
backhand comments. They could have won, but then they turned it over. 30 seconds left. When they had the game-winning field goal.
Yeah.
It is sort of a backhanded compliment, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know.
I think he
seems to
sounds
say-
more knowledgeable than our own coach about what's happened to us.
Speak on it.
Yep.
Speak on
Well,
it.
let's as a Browns fan here, let's not bring up like the bad calls or maybe bad calls in that Browns game. Let's just avoid that discussion.
Look, I believe in there's no other sport, and I'm not a super fan of other sports, so people might disagree with me, but I believe that there isn't another sport where coaching matters more than football. And you see the difference. I mean, even as a 49ers team, they go back and forth between Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo. Yet this offense rolls. They make it roll. And you understand that a guy like Kyle Shanahan knows what he's doing. And he knows how to break down the X's and O's. He's a game plan guy. He is going to be a part of the reason why your team wins on Sunday. And it's like when you hear someone like him talk, it's like, God, the Panthers just do not have that. To the point where Ben McAdoo, in one of his recent press conferences, was basically saying, Matt Rule, he's just kind of everywhere. He's kind of, just the leader of the football team. He's a delegator. He delegates all the important tasks out to other people that are more qualified than him. When I look at this matchup, I'm like, the battle of coaches is so immense, the distance between the talent level of the two. It's like, I almost think the Panthers are going to need a miracle. After the offenses that we've put up, I really think we're going to need a miracle to get a W at home this Sunday, as tough as that is to say.
Luvu's going to need a scoop and score and a pick six in this game.
Or two of both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're definitely going to need something. So is everyone kind of already viewing this game as a blowout, or do we think that our defense might be able to rattle Jimmy Garoppolo, and maybe our defensive backs might be able to get in on the action?
Listen, I don't think we're going to win, but I think it's going to be closer than you think. The 49ers total offense yardage is just 200 more than us, but we have more points per game than they do.
Oh, okay. So
They're
you think that we can
17.8.
make this kind of close?
I think it's going to be closer than people think. People think it's going to be a blowout. The Rams' offensive line is 26 right now. So
this is slated to be kind of like one of those upset games, like what you're talking about. I mean, I think you could be right, but here's the thing is that it's just our offense has struggled so much, and we're playing such a nasty defense. And that's the scary part about it. Is like, it's just like, I just don't feel like we match up all that well against them.
I mean, yeah.
I kind of feel like people are going to say that.
How about this? Is the line is 6.5? Are you going to take the Panthers and get in the points? I'm not.
No. I think they're going to lose. But I just don't think it's going to be a blowout, most people think.
So
no,
you might
probably it could be like a 20-13 game.
I can see it.
I mean, I think you all have a really great defense. So, like, the Panthers' defense is really good. And Garoppolo's not that great of a quarterback. So, I mean, I think he's better than what some people might give him credit for being. But I can totally see this being a close, like, low-scoring game. I could see that for sure.
If we could get some pressure on there on that left side, I mean, they don't. Trent Williams is done. The backup, he's hurt.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I mean, if we could get some pressure on that side, I mean, the game could be pretty close. I probably wouldn't bet on it. With the +6. I don't know. I probably wouldn't bet on it, but
So
There's one other thing too is Kittle has not gotten in. He hasn't eaten at all this season, and like, is he due for a breakout game? And like,
Probably.
can we really deal with like Debo? And then they give us mad problems.
But what about they got their I think Trey Sermon's out, so right, the running back.
They got Wilson, right? They got they've been killing. They kill it no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even think Trey Sermon is on their team anymore, is he?
There was one that's on IR right now.
Yeah, maybe
it's Elijah Moore, or something
okay.
more. Something more.
That's right.
Okay.
The Panthers are the team that everyone gets right against. We're the get right team. If you've been having trouble passing or running, the Panthers are the cure for what ails you. The Cardinals, they didn't lead one time in regulation this season until they played us. And it's just embarrassing, man. We have to get this back on track. I wanted to ask you this and kind of pivot the conversation this way. Jaycee Horn, career in coverage, games allowing less than 10 yards, 4. Games allowing over 40, 0. So my question to you all is this. How much does Jaycee Horn factor into this game? And there was a lot of debate around what player to take in that draft. Should we have taken Rashawn Slater, who is now hurt for the year? Should we have taken Justin Fields, who isn't looking that good right now in Chicago, albeit with a very bad football team around him? But, dude, JC is balling out right now. And it's looking to me like he is every bit the shutdown corner that we drafted him to be. Do you think JC has lived up to the hype, or are you still wanting to see more versus bigger competition? Tell me what you think.
He's only played like 5 games, right?
Yeah, we got to see more games out of him before we can really make a decision on that. That's, we don't want to jump the gun. We don't want to be like G baby and just, throw him out with the bathwater. But
so
I think he was the right pick for you all too.
Yeah. Don't trade Jaycee Horn, right?
That's exactly what I am saying. Do not trade Jaycee Horn.
Clarifications. Say again?
I think the receiving core that we've played so far. I mean, I guess Michael Thomas would be the best receiver he's faced so far.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean,
probably.
Jaycee Horn sick. He's sick, locked down. I mean, he's a sick corner. I mean, he's gonna be sick for years to come. Like him, Surtain, those two guys are gonna be some lockdown corners right there for years to come. But was it a great pick?
Denzel,
I don't know.
Yeah. Just like Denzel Ward for us, like I think like the only thing is health. As long as he stays healthy, he is going to be worth the pick you all.
I think C.J. Henderson played worse than Horn did.
Oh, that guy gets burned over the top.
I think between the two, Jaycee Horn has clearly proven himself to be the superior, and we still haven't really even. I wanted to broach another topic around another defensive back on the Panthers. But staying with C.J. Henderson, like I don't know, it's tough to evaluate players on a football team where the offense is so underwhelming. Because inevitably, like I said, late in games, when your defense is constantly out on the field, you're gonna leave room for mistakes like that. And I wonder if we would just see less and less of these mistakes from guys like CJ or Dante or whoever, if we actually had an offense that was able to get them off the field from time to time.
And it kills their morale, man, when you see like 3 and out. They're like, fuck, I gotta go back out there again.
Yeah. It's
I just think like don't get me wrong. I love Horn. I mean, like I said, he's gonna be one of the better corners for years to come, but I just think at the time of when we needed like what we needed, I just didn't. We skipped out on Rashawn Slater, Micah Parsons. I mean, even a couple quarterbacks if you wanted to go with Fields or Mac Jones. But I'm just saying, I think there were some other guys out there that we could have probably had instead. Can you imagine Parsons on this team? Probably the next Luke. So it's just like, I don't know.
But we could have also drafted a complete bust.
Yeah.
Nobody knew Parsons. I don't think anybody predicted Parsons to be Parsons.
Yeah. And again, like I said with Parsons, they don't play him like a traditional off the ball linebacker like they asked him to do at Penn State. Like if you just judged him as a middle linebacker, I thought he had a lot of deficiencies in his game, minding gaps. And I felt like that was the big issue in his game. And I kind of put that a lot on Penn State coaches. I can't stand Penn State's coaches, dude. They have so much talent that comes through that program.
That's the reason you hate Penn State coaches?
Well,
that's the only reason you hate Penn State coaches?
Amongst others. Dude, that was before my time, bro. But, dude, I tell you what. I hate wasted talent. That's for damn sure. And I feel like they've had a bunch of them. And I feel like Michael Parsons, like the fact that he went to Dallas and they started using him primarily as a pass rusher just by utilizing his athleticism.
Sorry to interrupt, but you had mentioned about Slater. Also, remember who our coaches are. If we would have took Slater with that pick instead of Horn, Matt Rule would have said he has to go to guard, and because he's a rookie, he wouldn't even got the opportunity in camp, much like Brady Christensen didn't.
Yeah,
I got to think of the positives too. I mean, you got Horn, and then you got Icky too. So I mean, you got to kind of think of it that way too.
Is Slater out for the season?
Yeah,
he is. Okay,
and their rookie's doing just as fine.
Yeah, the rookie's doing just, which makes me think that they have just a great offensive line coach, right? Like maybe, and that's always like the hard part with these kinds of things because they're all hypothetical, right? Like maybe the Panthers do draft Slater and he just sucks, right? Like,
exactly.
like yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do we feel like these coaches are getting the most out of the talent? Like we haven't seen a lot of Brandon Smith. Like, are you going to tell me that Brandon Smith is so wrong and the linebackers that you have ahead of him are so much better than he is right now that you can't figure out a way to utilize him on this team right now much more than he is? Like, it's stuff like that that really pisses me off, man. You have rookies that break out for other NFL teams all the time. How come that almost never happens to the Panthers? Almost never. How about this? Rashawn Slater is hurt right now, and his backup, Jamari Sellier, an offensive tackle out of Georgia, who I loved in the draft process, had his way with Aiden Hutchinson in the championship game. And, dude, he's like shutting shit down over there, just like his name was Rashawn Slater. It's like that would never happen for the Carolina Panthers because our coaches just don't divvy out that opportunity for these younger players.
I mean, we could have drafted Alex Weatherwood.
But that guy sucks. Also remember when we drafted
what you got
said players,
we did draft Greg Little.
They flat out told us that they were developmental players. So we should have took it right off the bat when they said it that these guys weren't going to play. So even if they showed something in practice, Matt Rule falls in love with people he views as starters, and they're there until hell freezes over. I mean, it just is.
That's true.
If he benches them, it's going to be way up. It's going to be around 10, 13 games into the season.
And it's also how we kind of run the defense too. Like, Frankie Louvu's been playing outstanding. He's been playing some outstanding football. And then, you have that veteran and Corey Littleton helping out there as well. So it's just, they don't run a lot of I feel like they don't run a lot of 3 linebacker sets like they did. I feel like it's a little bit more like you're running a lot of more nickel. And then you're also bringing in you're also, who am I blanking on? Jeez, Brian Burns is kind of coming up. Like he's not on the ground, like actually going after the quarterback. There's times he's in coverage. I feel like they're trying like different things, and they haven't really. But I agree with you. They need to bring in Brandon Smith. I mean, seeing him in preseason, he's raw. That guy, you got to get him out on the field somehow, some way, something.
Yeah, because in my personal opinion, Corey Littleton and Damian Wilson are backup or special teams players on 31 other teams in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of what the rumors were that we put out, is that there's a riff in the coaching staff between, which one of these players are actually good enough to be making an impact for the team. And that's legitimate. By the way, I did drop the link in the chat room to anybody that would like to join. We're at 8 right now. We can take up to 10. So I think we can have 2 more people on here. But again, this is a show for the fans, by the fans. If you'd like to be a part, join the link to the Streamyard and come in and talk to us right quick. So, did y'all see? I've been playing this in the background. I haven't brought it up once yet. How about them black end zones, y'all? They listen to us on the coming of the field more than they do about anything personnel wise.
So,
on the stuff that doesn't matter.
It's not even all black.
Well,
maybe they're coloring it in. I don't know.
But yeah, they are. So this is a live. It's already been colored in. This was just like a live stream of
I got you.
Of what was going on. But hey, real quick, let me welcome in Al the Sailor. Al, if you can hear me, what's up, brother? What's up? Hey,
yeah, I hear you.
Whoever, yeah, I can hear you. Hey, if anybody has any background noise, like their TV or whatever, you got to turn it down so that way we're not getting a lot of bleeding.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, I'll unmute you in a minute, Al. I'll let you get your background noise a little bit under control. But I wanted to ask everybody's opinion on something right quick, and that is talking about corners. Last night, if you watched that atrocious game, you might have heard a familiar name, and that was none other than Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore earned a 90 PFF grade last night. Colts cornerback Stephon Gilmore now ranks 4th amongst qualified cornerbacks with an 82.5 overall grade this season. At 32, Gilmore is still one of the best corners in the NFL. I feel like enough time has kind of gone by that we can maybe mention this and start to talk about it. Did we make a mistake paying Donte Jackson over retaining Stephon Gilmore?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
No.
I can see an argument. I can see an argument for both, but you know what, man? We definitely did. Okay, even though he was dealing with injury a lot last year, he has always been one of the best corners in the NFL, at least for the last few years, anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
And he would have took a 1-year deal.
Well, we think he would have. We assume that he would have, but we're not. I don't know if that was ever confirmed anywhere. Go ahead, Alex. Alex, you think that we did the right thing?
No, I think we did the right thing. I mean, we have other guys that we have to pay, and not to mention, I mean, the defense is fine. Our defensive side of the ball has been. To me, it's still been, relatively okay. Like we've been able to stay in games for most of the time, like this year. So I mean, to sign this guy for a ton of money, and then now what? Now all of our money's to our him, and then some of the other guys. We gotta pay everyone else. So we were able to pay DJ Moore, Jackson. Hopefully we might be able to pay Burns if he wants to stay. So it kind of opens it up for more possibilities. So I think it was the right thing. Obviously, Stephon Gilmore is amazing. I think we put all of our. I loved what what Fitterer did. We were 3-0, and he's just like, we're going all in. We're gonna get Gilmore too. So I mean, I love that. But for now, I think it was the right thing.
Yeah. Okay. So let me get Al back on here. Al, what's going on, bro? Do you think we made a mistake signing Donte Jackson over Stephon Gilmore?
Nah, I mean, it's too much money for Stephon Gilmore. Deshaun Jackson's good, but we just gotta use him in the right spots. But Stephon Gilmore would look really nice right now. He would look really good right now with our team.
He would. He would, and I think I understand the money situation. You have guys that you want to pay down the road. I understand that. I don't know. I guess it's just hard when you see a guy that lives in Charlotte wanted to play ball here, and the fact that he just goes somewhere else and now he's still playing his best football. That's tough. I think we can
How many
also.
years did he sign for?
Can I interrupt, Cody?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, but how good is he? How good is he when
Gilmore does?
How good is he when they only won one game?
Gilmore
Like, what does it
doesn't make
change?
that much money. Gilmore's getting paid like half of what Jackson is.
Yeah, how many years does he have with the Colts?
Gilmore has a 2-year contract for
10 years in the league.
Yeah, he's on a 2-year
he's playing
contract.
like a top 10 corner.
I mean, he's getting paid dirt money.
Yeah.
His cap number this year is 7.75. He ain't making but $7 million this year. Next year he makes
which is less than what Jackson's making.
Yeah, he makes $11 million. Jackson this year is making $6 million. Next year he makes 14, and the year after that his cap number is 14. You can pull the contracts up, but they're not as far as comparable to contract wise for who he is. Gilmore's by far cheaper than Jackson.
Man, that makes
much
it
better. He's like lights and day better.
And the reason why the Colts aren't winning, to be bluntly honest, if you watched that game yesterday, it's a combination of receivers can't get open and their quarterback's a statue.
Yeah. Hey, real
I'll
quick.
say this:
Hey,
Alec
hold on,
Pierce is the real
Come out
deal.
1
but-
second.
Yeah.
I'll get right back to you. Kyle donated a little while ago with the $10 love bomb and said, "Keep pounding." Appreciate you, Kyle. Go ahead, Jim. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm a big believer in strength of schedule. I don't know exactly how strong the Colts schedule has been, but I think Cody said like, hey, it's been like a quarter of the season, right? Like it's enough to have a sample size to be like, yeah, Gilmore is still legit at age 32 here in this league,
and he wanted to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
Our problem was we gave Horn the money, or we gave Jackson the money instead of Gilmore.
Yeah, I'm a big believer. Like I don't know, I'm a big believer in like hometown guys. Like I just love that. It's great.
I like Jackson though. I mean, over the top, those speedsters. That he is someone that could like cover that. Like he could cover those speedsters down the field.
I don't mean to be mean, but he hasn't yet. And we keep saying that. We say that ever since we drafted him, but he hasn't yet.
The Colts played so far Texans, Jaguars, Chiefs, Titans, and Broncos.
Yeah, they really haven't played much of anyone. Hey, real quick,
they beat the Chiefs, right?
Yeah. Hey, hang on. We got TST in the building. TST, how are you, bro?
What's good, my brother?
Doing good, man. Happy to have you on.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. It's my first time on the show after watching it so long.
I appreciate you, man. Happy you can finally come on the free for all, man. So, hey, it's your first time. Jump into it. We're talking Donte Jackson, Stephon Gilmore.
No,
Do you think we made a mistake?
No, I don't think we made a mistake. You know, being that we're a young team still and a young defense, and we're looking for the next couple of years to play, I think. And so I think not the age, but we're only seeing the first 5 games with Gilmore. He got burnt yesterday. He didn't just do good yesterday. He had an okay game. He had the winning interception, but he got killed on one play in the beginning of the game, yesterday. But that interception made up for it. So I don't think we missed any plays. Jackson's still young enough. He's still contributing. Our defense is not necessarily our issue. We're a bunch of young speed. Our defense is fast. We have a top 10 defense, so I don't think our defense is issues. If we had a little bit more in the interior, that would help. And maybe a bigger middle linebacker presence like we've always had for the last 15 years. Maybe that's where I would rather take care of. But offensively, man, we got to – I mean, I don't feel like the defensive side is an issue at all. You know?
Yeah.
I think that with the way that we've showed up the last couple of games, if we could just get our offense to score a touchdown or two when it matters, you know, get us in the front, I think we'd be at 4-0 for sure right now. We should be. I mean, we're getting blown out. We're losing these games by 2 points, a touchdown here or a field goal there, you know. But that's what happens when you sign a quarterback a couple weeks before our first game, and our offensive coordinator doesn't like him, and we have a coach that's on the last year of his real. Everybody's thinking, oh, he's going to do it because he did it in college. But in college, I mean, it's a different story. But I mean, I'm a big Baker Mayfield fan. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Loved him since college. I like his intangibles. I like his energy. I like that. Don't give a damn. Like, kiss my ass. Let's go whoop some ass kind of guy. Like, I like that. He isn't playing the best, but I also think that it's not necessarily on him and how everything's been going. I think our offense is just fundamentally not sound. We're not using anybody that we have. Deontay, like, we're not using Freeman. That guy is a 235, 40-pound running back who, when he plays, does good. He gets us those yards. We want to use CMC every single time, but, I mean, we're not using the players that we signed in the offseason that could really give us. Baker Mayfield is not going to drop back and throw. He did great when he got rolls out, when he got real play action, when you run the ball, and then boom, you get to launch it off. Like, he killed it when he does it like that. But when you're forcing him to sit back there in that pocket, and then, you know, that's kind of not his style when he doesn't get to roll it out in this offense. I mean, this just sucks to see, man, honestly. Sorry for the rambling on, though.
No, you're good, man. It's the free-for-all. It's your first time, man. Why don't you get your toes wet? I mean, and look, I especially, you know, you bring up Baker Mayfield. That was the perfect segue. Because this is something that happened, 2 press conferences? I don't know if he's had a press conference since then. But our guy, Chris Jenkins at Charlotte Vibe, he was asking Baker Mayfield the question of, you know, what can you do? Are there any drills? Are there any things that you can do as a player to limit the amount of batted passes? And well, I'll just let y'all listen to Baker.
Yeah, that's what.
Man, slide your feet.
Coaches have to give you any suggestions or something like that. I mean, it's like staying in the pocket. It's finding windows to throw, getting their hands out. Again, it's the same things I keep saying.
Kind of hard to hear. I'll play it one more time.
Drill form, you can let me know. If you have a drill for me, you can let me know. Coaches have to give you any suggestions.
If you have a drill for me, you can let me know. And see, this is the shit that kind of pisses me off. And so, okay, I understand that Baker has fans and people like his attitude and the bravado, but I'm a firm believer that this shit is only cute. We're winning football games and balling out. Other than that, it just makes you look like an asshole that's snapping on reporters for asking a perfectly legitimate question. Like what Chris Jenkins asked wasn't like a jab at him. It wasn't like trying to be mean Baker Mayfield. He just acted like a dick. And
you saying that's former defensive tackle Chris Jenkins?
No.
I was going to ask the same question.
I was like, oh shit.
That's the same question.
No, Cody's exactly right with that.
From Charlotte Vibe, we've interviewed Chris Jenkins a bunch from Charlotte Vibe. That's our guy, man.
Baker was just being an ass. He just is. He just was. And I mean, because no other quarterback. If you put Cam up there answering that question, if Cam would have said that back,
it would have been all.
It would have been over. The league office would have got involved with it.
Yeah.
And it's just he's an asshole. He gets by with it. He always has. And to his knowledge, he always will, because there's nobody in any organization that has got him for that I'm aware of.
I will say, like, how many times did they ask him that question? Like, how many?
Yeah, but that's not. I heard that too.
Yeah, imagine somebody asking you how you feel every day about it. It's a situation that you know is annoying, not just you, but your job, everyone on the team. Every game is costing you. and you get asked that 1,000 times. It's on national television.
But he didn't ask that. Chris Jenkins asked him, "Are you working on any drills or anything?"
Yeah,
he didn't
ask him. Are you working on drills to do something that you get paid millions of dollars
He asked
for?
him, "What are you doing to fix it?" The same thing fans asked Chris Jenkins on Charlotte Vibe podcast.
Yeah, but look, is that like here's the thing: is Baker is frustrated right now. You know, I mean, and understandably so. Everybody has been asking about it. He's been bugged about it. He's upset about it. He's frustrated. You saw in that last one, the one on the out where they were talking about the one that just got the fingers. It was the 4th down, I think, or one of the conversion plays. It was one of the more important. I mean, you saw him clap his hands in frustration when it got batted. Yeah. He's in a rut right now. Yes. Here's the thing is I'm not going to get all like, oh, I hate this dude like Cody is already. Like, like I like when
he annoys the shit out of me, dude.
I like it that he's upset.
Yes.
Like if he was just like, oh, he took, I mean, now he took it out. It was a smart ass little thing to say, well, if you got some drill. But I mean, who really gives a shit at this point?
We're playing football.
As a Browns fan, the number of times I've seen this though is off the charts, right?
Yeah.
Like,
every Brown fan popped in was like, "Oh, this is what you get."
Yeah, like this is what you get with Baker, and I think that's the thing, right? Like, yeah, like he maybe has been asked this question a whole bunch, and I get it, right? But I think that people have an expectation of this is what a quarterback should be, and that you might disagree with that. Like that expectation that's put on quarterbacks in general.
That's a good point.
It's there for a reason, though, too, right? And Baker just the immature. It goes back to leading a team. Like he lost the locker room in Cleveland.
They need an adult in the room.
Well, let's not. Yeah, but the defense didn't like Baker. They really didn't like Baker. Like John Johnson didn't like him. Clowney didn't like him, and so and it's things like this. I think this constant not able to like hold his tongue, this immaturity that kind of will show up with him, and his snarkiness. And so I'm not a fan of it like Cody.
Well, but also like Tony said, he's not gonna jump out hating this guy. It's not even about hating this guy. It's if you listen to how he answers the questions, like he's like, "Oh, batted passes aren't a big deal. It happens. You'll have that. Time to get over it." Well, no, dude, it seems to happen way more to you than to anyone else. And then, like, it's such an obvious problem that then you're gonna be snarky about it and like snap at reporters that are asking legitimate questions. It's like, dude, if you're going to have that kind of attitude, you have to be playing good football. If not, you better say all the right shit and be a good little puppy.
Yeah, he did the same thing to Tony Grossi in Cleveland. He threw the medical staff under the bus in Cleveland. He threw Myles Garrett under the bus in Cleveland. I don't know. I like Baker. Like I really I want to like him. I'm not a Cleveland fan who is just like he sucks. Let's get rid of him. Like I liked Baker, but it's just at this point I can't defend him at all.
If I'm a reporter, and maybe this is a reason why I'm not. If I'm a reporter and he says that to me, I'm just going to stand up and say, well, maybe if you throw accurate balls, we wouldn't have to ask these questions. Because when I watched all 22 film, when I watched all 22 film, it was not the plays weren't there. It was not that receivers were covered up. It's not the offensive line failed to block 20 times. The fact of the matter is Baker Mayfield would throw directly at a defensive lineman. If the defensive lineman could intercept the balls, we would have been down by 100 points. Because Baker Mayfield threw in the back of Baker Mayfield hit Taylor Moton in the back of the helmet twice.
Yeah.
One time he threw 4 yards over top of DJ Moore countless times. I mean, countless times. If Baker was just 50% more accurate than what he was, we probably would have won that game. Just 50%.
Panther Pickle. Panther Pickle.
Yeah, go ahead.
Panther Pickle.
Go ahead.
So Drew Brees is the same exact height as this guy, right? But
Yes.
he can slide his feet. He can get in a passing lane.
But Drew Brees didn't always do that.
And he's the third most hardest passing in the NFL, huh? But he didn't do it, but he did it most of the time. And Baker Mayfield just ass, dude. Come on, man. We got to get rid of this guy. He sucks. He sucks.
Well, I've said it
about
before, and I'll say it again. I said it this week on 2 different podcasts I was on. If I'm the boss, I will cut Baker Mayfield and eat what we eat. And I would elevate the Easton, the guy on the practice squad, and let PJ Walker and Easton have at it, because Sam ain't worth putting on the roster, and neither is Baker Mayfield.
If you do any of that,
that's me.
If you do any of that, then as a coach and as a front office, you're just waving the white flag.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to.
Not really.
To me, sometimes coaches are too diplomatic. Go out there and tell the truth. Quit pissing around with it. They need to.
Well, I mean, if you start 60% of the games, that fifth round turns into a fourth.
Yeah, go out there and tell the truth. So the plays are there. Baker just can't hit the broad side of a barn.
Yeah,
we've been through Sam already. Sam just sucks. Good luck in the future. Just say how it is.
The biggest mistake was honestly biggest mistake, and I know we've said it 100,000 times, but the first time they got rid of Cam Newton, that's the thing. You can't get rid of like franchise quarterbacks like that. You don't just cut a guy. I know he's been hurt and all of that, and I know, but the thing is like we never knew where we were gonna go after that. We kind of just cut him, and then we've been freestyling ever since, and it's like hasn't worked out.
They did at the time when they cut Cam. They had Teddy Bridgewater on the roster, but they just.
Which didn't make sense to me.
In my opinion, they hired an offensive coordinator who wasn't ready to be an offensive coordinator yet.
Yeah. Hey, real quick.
I like Joe Brady. Someday in the future, he may be an excellent offensive coordinator or head coach. But at that particular time, with Matt Rule, who's not an offensive coach at all, I mean, Joe Brady had a question. All he had to do was ask his running backs coach.
So I want to get back to that in a minute, but before we do, I want to welcome Eric37 to the podcast, to the Friday Free For All. Eric, what's up, bro?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, man. What you think about Baker Mayfield's comments and just Baker Mayfield in general, man?
I just think when he's good, those comments work, but he's sucking, so it just comes off as arrogant to me.
Yeah, I've always said that about him. It comes off as arrogant. Like if you're playing like Josh Allen, I'm fine with it, but it is far from that.
He's 33rd, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm about to pull up some of the stats that you sent to me, Kevin. Right now, like it's not even just a matter of opinion about how bad Baker Mayfield is. Almost all of his stats are like bottom 2, if not the very worst out of all eligible quarterbacks. Hang on, let me see.
Shout out to Brad Holt in the chat, who says Bailey Zapper is better than Baker. That is very true.
He might be better than the quarterback.
Man, y'all can't be doing my boy Baker like that, man. He is.
All right, so tell us.
I'm sorry, man.
Wait, hold on.
I'm not really sorry.
I'm ready to
Wait,
talk
hold on. Everyone, time out. Let him defend Baker, because we got a lot of Baker haters in here. So go. Why? TST. What are we missing about Baker Mayfield? What have we said about him that is unfair thus far?
I think we're not taking into the account that he's not our play caller. This is not something that what he's doing is not something that is, oh my gosh, we're going 5-13 now because Baker's here. No, it's been an issue before that. We can't put. I got to watch some of the film. I've watched tons of film on Baker. Yes, he makes mistakes, but it's not all on him. There's moments where he's not having time to throw the ball. There's moments where there's no one open to throw the ball. And then sometimes he does make the mistake. Like every other quarterback in the world makes mistakes too. Some of them just get to capitalize on others. But Baker's been in this organization, correct me if I'm wrong, less than 60 days. He's learning the offense. He's learning rule. And the way that they're trying to make McAdoo's system does not work. It didn't work. It worked for 1 year in New York at the Giants, and that's why and where was he at then after that? Ben McAdoo is not running the plays that make any of our players exceed any of their talents, whether it's Baker, whether it's CMC, whether it's Donte Foreman, whether it's Moore, whether it's like it's not working not as a whole. If it was just Baker, everybody else, we would still be able to win if it wasn't. But everybody's making mistakes, and it's kind of getting like everybody's putting the blame on Baker, but Baker's not the reason for it all. He has his part, but I think it's as a whole, it's just not congealing. You brought him here late, made him fight with
I don't want to hear that big stuff.
Sounds familiar to me.
Right? Imagine getting to a job like that, having to learn the offense and everything, and then competing and not having enough time to play. And then when you get out there and it's showtime, you haven't had enough time to figure out. No one has ever seen my Browns fan over there. When in Cleveland did you ever see, or anybody in the last 4 years watching Baker, did anybody pat down these balls as much as it's been this season? And it's only 4 games in, so it's not like, oh, it's been years and years of this. This is something new. They might have been like, okay, look at our offensive line, how we're getting crashed into the pocket. We're not spreading it out. And what happens when you crash down into the pocket and trying to condense the pocket with a quarterback who's not tall? You're going to have balls that get hit like that. And then he's accommodating himself for that by overthrowing the ball too high. There was moments where he's like overthrowing the ball in the shortcut routes in the inside, or some of the routes to DJ Moore that he's overthrowing it because he's accommodating for getting the balls patted down.
This is the best offensive line we had in years.
So I was called out as a Browns fan here.
Offensive line in 10 years. Does it make it a good offensive line? No. Iquanu is killing us. He got dogged in the first game. Baker got sacked. I think it was back-to-back 2 times, and he got sacked 4 other times after that. Our offensive line
Baker
is
needs
not
the top
good.
5 of the line to be good.
Okay.
At least give it a top 15.
Yeah.
Our offensive line isn't even – our
top
offensive
15,
line
actually.
is not good. But
hold on. If we're talking about that, so number one, and then I'm going to introduce some people into the show. This is according to ESPN, so don't take it out on me. The Carolina Panthers have a team run block win rate of 74%. So that's certainly an indictment on Ben McAdoo. But the pass block rate, the Carolina Panthers are ranked number 12. So we're in the top 15. This is one of the better offensive lines that the Carolina Panthers have had in the past 4 years. And yet our offense is still absolutely optimal. And so I'm actually we have some more Browns fans in here. Our guy, Big Mike, our favorite Browns theorist, Big Mike has joined us. Big Mike, how are you, man?
Big Mike?
Well, you might notice I shaved a little bit. What the hell did you guys do to Baker? How'd you break him in 4 games?
We got ripped off.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Because this past Sunday, we were actually treated to the Panthers game. And even for a Browns fan that have always liked Baker, I mean, it was hard to watch. I mean, it seems like your defense in almost every game is scoring first. And does it seem to you guys, does it seem that Baker's actually able to call audibles, or is the coach keeping him from changing up the play? Because have they been using Rashad Higgins at all?
No.
Nope.
He fumbled it. We
brought him in for 1 game. We brought him in for 1 game, ran a reverse, and he fumbled it right there and got blasted in the process. It's a shit show, dude. And Baker is a bum.
Well,
and you know what? He might not be a bum overall as a player, but we got the worst Baker out of every. This is the worst Baker Mayfield.
Baker the bum.
Yeah. I mean, you guys were talking about Josh Allen. How many coaches has Josh Allen had? How many playbooks has Josh Allen had? How many offensive coordinators has Josh Allen had? I mean, Baker is on.
He's had a lot because they've all gotten head coaching jobs.
I think he had McDermott and Dable the first 2 years.
Question.
It's just been Dable.
Go ahead, Al.
How many has Jalen Hurts had? He had a new offense coordinator every single year since high school.
So is Justin Herbert, actually.
Yep. Yep, that is true. That is
this idea that Baker Mayfield sucks because he's had a whole bunch of different. I'm sorry, your coach doesn't prevent you from seeing Demetric Felton wide the F open on an easy 3rd and 2 rollout that he's right there, right in front of you. It doesn't prevent you from seeing 3 receivers open right in front of you. It doesn't make you throw a ball consistently, not just like in the pocket, but on rollout, wide and outside, very consistently. The guy is always, every single season, had a completion percentage way below the league average, even in his best seasons. Even in his best seasons, his congregate stats were mediocre. Like they were 17th to 25th in the league, somewhere in that range, all of them, besides QBR in 2020, which I don't understand. Just this idea that it's coaching with Baker Mayfield. Yeah, like he's had some bad situations. That's fair. But two things can be true at once, and this is the last sentence here. 2 things can be true at once. He's had bad coaching, and he's also just sucked. Like 2 things.
You do know when OBJ got knocked out of the Bengals game that Baker called the offense for the rest of the game.
Yeah, he's had some great games, but guess what? Like,
and he was 100%. He was 100%.
But one of the things that we're noticing is our number 1 wide receiver, who we expected to have a big year this year, DJ Moore, is also experiencing a lack of receptions, a lack of touches, and even when he is open, Baker's just flat out missing him. And another thing that I've noticed from his time in Cleveland to his time in Carolina, he very heavily favors throwing to tight ends. They're like his number 1 option a lot. And I think that that's a tendency with him. He has overthrowing as an issue because, he claims to have a new throwing motion because of the surgery that he had. And look, it's on him how he throws the football. But now I have had multiple seasons where a number 1 wide receiver is coming out and it's like they're looking like they're playing some of the worst football ever because Baker just isn't getting him the football. And then one more thing I want to add here too. A few years ago, we were all clowning on Joe Brady. Joe Brady is so terrible. Joe Brady is the worst offensive coordinator. He's an up jump college offensive coordinator. It can't cut it in the NFL. Well, this man had nothing going for him at the quarterback position, a terrible offensive line, and that we continue to see the same results every offensive coordinator that we have. So at a certain point in time, your offensive coordinator is always going to look like trash if your quarterback is not able to distribute the football evenly. So, I mean, I don't think Ben McAdoo. I don't think Ben McAdoo is the best coach in the world, or the best offensive coach in the world. But I don't think that Ben McAdoo, as a whole, is the entire problem.
He's not the entire problem, but he has not done any favors for anybody. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. These 2 guys together are the problem. You know what I'm saying? It's like when he calls a good play, Baker makes a bad throw. When he it's like just one or the other. It's never these 2 guys are the problem right now. And I told you that we weren't going to be no run team with Ben McAdoo.
But to be fair, Tony, Ben McAdoo is doing what you said he would do. He wants to pass the football, and maybe it's his problem for not adjusting. But there's no reason to believe that this offense wouldn't be more successful if we had a quarterback that was consistently hitting the layups. And to me, that's why it's on Baker.
Yeah,
Hold on, time out. So no, I'm gonna let you go, Al. I'm gonna let Al go first, and then I'm gonna go to Jim. Go ahead, Al.
Sorry, Cody, but I mean, so this is where we pay. This is where we pay Sean Payton. You see, because he can scheme up. He can scheme up these offenses that we never seen as a Carolina fan base. You know what I'm saying? You never seen nothing like this, dude. You never seen plays like this. Yeah, we've seen it maybe like once in a while with Mike Shula, maybe, but he had Cam. But now this is where Sean Payton comes into work. That's where he gets his money at.
I'm not giving up draft picks for Sean Payton.
Well, we're not going to give up. Well, I'll give up a second.
We're probably going to have to.
No, you're going to have to give up a first.
We're going to have to, bro. We're going to have to, bro. We're going to have to pay somebody, bro. And you want to pay. Want to pay.
But the Saints will not trade him to a division. The Saints hold the power there.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though, Patrick. That's it. That's the thing, though, Patrick.
Well, right, but that's why it might be so expensive that the division rival is just going to drive up and up the price. Like, how many first-round picks is too much? It's like, and another thing, if our quarterback position is not fixed, like, I'm okay rolling with Matt Corral. I think Matt Corral can be a damn good football player. I would like to see him get a chance. But, it just depends on what player, on what coach we're going to get in here. Well, and TSC, I hear you, man, but I think Matt Corral has a far higher talent ceiling than Baker Mayfield by a mile. I think Matt Corral has a bigger arm. I think he's more mobile, and I just think that he's more likable of a person than Baker Mayfield.
But we can't
hold on. But time out. I want to be fair. I told Jim he can go next. Let's go to Jim.
Yeah.
What's up, Jim?
So yeah, like there was a comment on here that mentioned, it was Paul Mancini that mentioned there was injuries to the Browns offense and it was totally awful. The reason it was awful was because Baker Mayfield sucked last season. We're talking about, even despite the injuries to the wide receivers, which was Landry, basically, that was it. OBJ was gone early, midway through the season. We had more plays with 3 wide receivers open than the vast majority of teams last season, yet Baker still sucked at getting to the ball. And the mistakes he was making, yes, I get that he was injured, but it's the same mistakes that he was making right now when he's healthy, and in 2020 when he was healthy, and in 2019 and 2018. Like, this is who Baker is. Right? This is who Baker is now at this point. And even with our injured running backs, we still had an excellent running game. Even with our injured O-line, we still had like a top 10, maybe top 13 offensive line. Like, it was like by like rankings, like the fact, like it's just like we've run out of excuses. If you're trying to determine whether or not Baker is the quarterback in year 5, he's not. An excellent quarterback or a franchise quarterback is consistent, and Baker's not consistent. He's had good games. Absolutely. He's had good games here and there. I was at the game against the Bengals last season when he blew them out, and he looked good. But he's just not it. And if you have to ask that in year 5, then you have your answer.
Yeah. So look, like someone was saying earlier, I think 2 things can be true. Baker Mayfield has had a bunch of different coaches and playbooks. Yes, granted. Yeah. But there's also a bunch of things that are entirely under his control that he is not good and not consistent at. And it's not like we're wanting him to be bad. Like, we're wanting him to be good and field a successful offense for the Panthers. It's not happening, though.
I will say this.
Go ahead, Kevin.
I will say this. Your offensive coordinator in the last game only runs the ball 13 times and 2 in the second half. It's not going to help him.
Yeah. No, I agree. We're not putting him in the best scenario to succeed. I think both of those things are true. But hey, man, you already see him. You already see the swag ass Panthers jacket. You already see the rockin' ass 89 Steve Smith jersey. This man has been battling COVID, and I think COVID's finally losing. It's our fucking boy G baby. What's good, bro?
Hey man, can I get my ice up?
The man, the myth, the legend.
Here we go. Y'all brace yourselves. I got my impact suit on. Go ahead, G.
Hey man, y'all can see me. Draymond Green, bro. Hey dog. Hey nigga, I seen what you did, G. I seen what you did, bro. I caught wind of that shit, bro. Going after a light-skinned nigga that's what, 4 inches shorter than you, bro? That's 50 pounds lighter than you, bro? You was a straight hoe-ass bitch, bro. I lost all my motherfucking respect for you, bro. You a fucking straight-out clown, bro. How you gonna do that to your fucking teammate, bro? I can see y'all was in the street.
He pushed him first.
Who's Draymond
Nah,
Green?
bro, that's a sucker punch, bro.
KD.
It's the basketball player for the
basketball sucks.
G's wearing a Steve Smith jersey too. Talking about this.
G got that energy, bro. Hey, no, look, man. Like,
brothers. Hey, hold on. Let me get my one last up, bro.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Bronco country, bro. Suck my fucking nuts, bro. Y'all deserve everything that fucking coming towards you motherfuckers, bro. How does that shit feel, bro? Y'all are done. I give it 2 years. I give it 2 years before y'all are at the bottom of the fucking barrel every goddamn year, man. Fuck y'all and fuck all y'all fans, bro. And fuck Russell Wilson.
They may be done in 2 years, but Russell Wilson still has to be paid all his money because they stupid to pay him, 36-year-old, that kind of freaking contract.
Is he?
Hey, and another thing, I promise you, there ain't no 32 QBs better than motherfucking Cameron Jarrell motherfucking Newton, bro. That's fucking bullshit, bro.
I would take him over Baker, man. But I know that everybody's so tired of talking about Cameron. I'm tired of talking about Baker, man. It's sad.
Let me get mine. Let me get mine real quick, and I'm bounce.
Yeah. Go ahead, TST.
Because I appreciate this. This is hella fun. This is dope. I love this, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, Baker Mayfield, like, watch this. Y'all pissing Baker Mayfield off now. Baker Mayfield he gonna beat the 49ers. We gonna win. I'm saying 35-14. Baker Mayfield throws for at least 300 yards. Watch.
Can he get 200?
Yeah, I like that.
But I'm saying, ask that Browns fan every time Baker gets. Y'all doubt Baker. That shit happened with Odell. He split. Odell left. What happened?
Against bad defenses.
Out the
against bad defenses and bad teams.
Block that motherfucker, bro. I don't want him on the fucking panel no more, bro.
Block him. He's gonna throw 3 picks. I think he's more likely to throw 3 picks this game than throw 300 yards.
Every time out. Look, TST. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate the optimism. We're gonna have to see, man. I'll tell you this. How about this? If it takes me telling Baker Mayfield that he sucks in order for him to play good,
I'll do it every week.
Hey Baker, you fucking suck, bro. Get mad and start to get dangerous. TST, I appreciate having you.
Good job at progressive.
Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate y'all. Have a good night.
Yeah, man. I'll be seeing you again. Come back next Friday.
See you, man.
Have a good one, man.
Yeah, man. So, look,
Panthers.com. If you want to make sure we win every game, put me and G Baby and Cody on staff.
Yeah,
and we'll damn sure make sure Baker Mayfield ain't nothing but mad.
Can I make one plug real quick? Can I make one plug real quick for the podcast?
Yeah.
If you're watching this right now, please like and subscribe because this is great. I love it, y'all. I really love that y'all do this.
Like button and subscribe.
This is really unique what you all do. So thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Oh, dude, for sure. And look, we love having fans of other teams, and especially your Browns fans. Browns have been great all year, coming and continuing to talk about us and talk about
The one thing about the Browns fans, I wish they would just get the story right. They have no idea what happened in Cleveland.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing.
But
I mean, when they found out that Odell, Landry, and Mayfield collaborated to get the fuck out of there, that's when things went. I mean, you're talking about Baker's last year in Cleveland. Stefanski was calling plays to open up the quarterback, and you're telling me that Baker Mayfield wasn't throwing to open receivers? If you have 3 receivers, you're going to have 2 that are going to be open constantly, right?
So
like
yeah,
when he threw an interception
Right?
against
I
the
mean,
Packers
look
and
at
he had a
the
wide open
open
Njoku underneath.
receivers.
I mean,
Look
like,
at
what
the
are you
open
talking about? Like,
receivers
I don't.
that they've got now. Look at the ones that Brissett's not throwing to, right? But they're not making any noise over that, right?
well, but
Because
to be
Brissett's the
fair,
backup.
We've
yeah,
had the
but to be
first
fair,
back-to-back
but
100-yard receiver since the first time since 2014.
but
Like,
hold on,
those
Baker
to add on to that
Baker
though,
Mayfield is the
Deshaun.
number 3 quarterback in Cleveland Browns history.
That's sad.
The
That's
number
not
3
saying
quarterback
much.
in Cleveland
But
Browns
this isn't a Cleveland Browns podcast, so I'm not going to talk about
But
Well,
that
I know
anymore.
that, but
This
what
is
I'm saying
Panthers.
is
I'm not
everybody
going to.
keeps on going back to what happened in Cleveland. I'm telling you, what I saw Sunday was not Baker Mayfield, and something is broke. His feet weren't set. He was hitting players either behind or in front. He was
That looks
having
like Baker
balls
Mayfield
batted
to me.
down. I've never seen so many balls battered down by one quarterback, let alone Baker Mayfield. There's
Well,
something that's
Yeah, we know
not.
he sucks.
Well, I tell
It
you what,
can't be as
I tell you
simple
what,
as that.
if
You
it
know he
was
sucks.
if
That's
if
all
you
it is.
had
That's
a
simple. It's that simple. You know he sucks.
if we had a competent head coach, in my opinion, you could go into the middle of a game, for example, the Cardinals game. Baker wasn't getting nothing done. Pull him out. You gonna piss him off? Too bad. He'll get over it, or he won't. Either way, don't care. Put your backup in just to see if the backup has any success or failures. Then you go from there. Because the common misconception in the NFL is once you pull a starter out, you can't put him back in there. That's bullshit. We all know as lifelong fans, it's bullshit.
So, but my thing is this,
What?
but hold on, but considering the Browns though, like, look, both. How about this? The Browns and the Carolina Panthers felt Deshaun Watson, through all of his troubles, was a better option than Baker Mayfield. And look, so again, I am not here defending the actions of Deshaun Watson, okay? But as a diehard Clemson Tiger fan, I have seen that man make miracles as a quarterback. I know what he's capable of, and it's not surprising me after seeing what Baker Mayfield did and is doing, why you would say, okay, we have a good enough roster that a Deshaun Watson type player puts us over the edge. And I don't blame them for that. Now, whether or not that happens, that remains to be seen. But to me, the optics for our owner, David Tepper, gets worse and worse, because now this is the 3rd year in a row, count them, number 3, that you have accepted the sloppy seconds of some other football team to come and be your franchise quarterback, and it continues to bite him in the ass every single year. And it's getting to the point where if all of these quarterbacks are underperforming here, well, isn't the common denominator Matt Rule? This guy has been here through every single bit of it, and the same problems are still here with different offensive coordinators and different coaches around him.
But you can't blame him when he's missing open receivers. You can't blame the coach.
No.
Well, but I can blame all the people that decided that Baker Mayfield needed to come.
But now you can blame the offensive coordinator when Christian McCaffrey consistently runs at the center and guard like he's running against a brick wall, bounces off and falls on his ass consistently without running out to the outside. Now, if you put Derrick Henry back there, I can see running him up the middle. You want to put Foreman out there, I can see running him up the middle. You consistently put Christian McCaffrey and make him be the guy he ain't, even if he wants to be that guy. Then you ask
who said last week? My bad, Panther Pickle. Who said last week that Chris McCaffrey wants to be thought as a Derek McCaffrey type running back? Bro, you're not that dude, bro.
I agree.
Who said that?
I mean, they only
Who said
ran
that
him
last
8
week?
times last week. They only ran him 8 times.
You're not that dude, bro. No, but he said no. But I'm talking about just on the. We're talking Friday free for all. We're talking.
Yeah,
right?
I said that.
And
I said that
somebody
because
"Oh,
he said that. I said that because he said that on one of the interviews.
He's not
he did.
that. He's not that guy, bro. He's not that guy, bro. He
Well,
has to be
I agree
gadget
with
play
that.
type guy.
But apparently
gadget play type guy.
nobody in Christian McCaffrey's history has ever told him that.
Well, I mean, look, I'm not. Listen, I'm never mad at a player for believing in themselves. But
Right.
if what you believe about yourself as a player is ultimately holding you back from, being utilized in another way or some other way that might spark your offense, well, then I have a problem with it. But the fact of the matter is, I don't have a problem with how Christian wants to be used because, I mean, if you look at the stats I showed earlier, we are a decent run blocking offensive line. I believe we're top 10. I can look at it again. If you look at just the data and the analytics, our offensive line, when we do the sideline, we are getting like 6-point-something yards per carry. So that's where I understand the criticism on Ben McAdoo. My question is this: like,
We're
what?
6th in the league.
Yeah, we're 6th in the league. Like that. And can you imagine a
Also-
scenario where the Panthers' offensive line was almost top 5?
And only
That's-
ran the ball 13 times.
Wait,
Yeah, go ahead.
Also, on NFL.com,
Jim.
Christian McCaffrey is the 3rd ranked running back this season.
Where-
It's Nick Chubb, Saquon Barkley, and then CMC. Just to
where
throw
is
that out there.
John
Moving
Fox
on.
when you need him?
Yeah.
Oh Lord,
Where's
It is
John
what it is.
Fox when you need him?
Well, wait a minute.
He's help coaching the Colts.
Where'd you say Nick Chubb's rated?
Number
On
1.
NFL.com, they have him rated the number 1 running back. Saquon is 2. Christian McCaffrey is number 3.
Okay, then why
Hey,
did
if Christian
Stefanski
McCaffrey-
throw the ball 3 times on the goal line that doesn't use Nick Chubb? Is that Baker's problem? Is that Nick Chubb's problem?
Hey, hold on, G.
Unrelated
Hold
to
on,
Baker
bro. I'm about to
Mayfield.
block you
That's
too,
a
bro. I
non
don't give a fuck
sequitur.
about
It's a
no Nick
logical
Chubb, bro. The
fallacy.
Cleveland
It's
motherfucking Browns,
fallacious
dog.
reasoning. That's all I
Wait, but
have
hold
to
up.
say.
No,
Who is this,
Jim,
man?
wait,
I don't know who is it, G.
wait.
We're talking about
no.
players worse than coaching.
It's
Stefanski
fallacious
lost
reasoning
the
to
game
reason
against
from the
the Jets.
Falcons game to say Baker Mayfield was not the problem. It's fallacious. It's a non sequitur. It's an error in logic. That's all I got to say to that. Moving on.
Baker
This is
No,
the
we're
Mayfield,
Panthers
talking
QBR
podcast.
about
is
coaches
15, bro.
versus players.
Baker
Coaching
Mayfield,
versus
QBR
players.
is 15.
Wait, but hold on.
We are-
This is what. Wait. Time out. This is what I'll say. I'll say that either or Nick Chubb. If you're talking Nick Chubb or Christian McCaffrey, you're talking about 2 premier talents. Whether their coaches are
Absolutely.
misusing, whether their coaches are misusing them, I don't know. I can't speak to the Cleveland Browns. I'm not watching the Cleveland
Sure.
Browns, but I know a few things about them. I know that they run the football very well. And I know that when you put the ball in Nick Chubb's hands, he makes magic. Okay.
You know where they rank on PFF?
I also look at this team right now, and I see that we're barely running the football. We're barely doing it, and Christian McCaffrey is up there with Saquon Barkley and Nick Chubb. So again, there's this disconnect between Baker being the problem and everyone else around him being the problem. And
Cody.
knowing that we have upgraded this team so thoroughly, I don't know. My eyes don't lie to me. I see a lot of the same from Baker Mayfield.
So
I'm
apparently
gonna go to G Baby because G was gonna say something, and then I'm gonna go to Pickle. G, get in here,
Bro,
man. What's the deal with
We
this?
got trade. If you guys are telling me that Chris McCaffrey is a top 3 back on a team that is going nowhere, we need to trade him right now, bro. And we need to get everything we can for him, man.
I mean, if we're
We
not
ain't
using it,
doing
we might as
shit,
well.
bro. We ain't going to no playoffs. And if you guys are telling me Chris McCaffrey's a top 3 back, we need to trade him.
He's
And that shit
number 2
breaks
in
my
PFF.
fucking heart. I don't want to trade
He is in
CMC,
the
bro.
trade rumors that are circulating. That is
There's always
true. I
rumors.
saw that.
Yeah.
today.
Let me
But
pull
this
that up.
is my thing though. We trade Christian after we fire Matt Rule and company, bro. We have to. I don't want Matt Rule or anyone in this front office, including Scott Fitterer's bitch ass, the person that traded for Chenault, and Chenault's on the fucking injury report every fucking week. Wasted draft picks like crazy. This is bullshit, bro. Fitz gotta go. Rat Rule's gotta go.
I was
McAdoo's
interested in that.
And then
Like,
I would
what-
put Steve Wilkes as just an interim, whatever, head coach. And then we go get a fucking GM in the offseason and a fucking head coach, and we go take one of these top QBs. Boys, there's 4 primetime college football games on tomorrow that I want you guys to watch. And I want you guys to pay attention to these 4 QBs. Quinn Ewers is going to be in the Red River rivalry tomorrow. I want you to watch Caleb Williams is going to be on primetime fucking football tomorrow. I want you to watch CJ Stroud, which is going to be on primetime fucking football as well. And Bryce Young will be playing against Texas A&M, coming off of an injury, and I want you to watch him as well, man.
No. You went too far, G baby. With Bryce Young, you went
Hayden
too far,
Hooker
bro.
is better.
Wait, so hold up.
Tennessee's
So look,
Hayden Hooker is
wait,
better.
look, we can actually talk about some of the quarterbacks, but while we're still on the top trading Christian McCaffrey, look, I'm right there with G. I don't want to trade Christian McCaffrey. I wish that we didn't have to trade Christian McCaffrey. I wish that this player could be with us forever, balling out. But the song remains the same. So I'm going to read this. This is from Sports. He says, don't listen to whatever the Panthers say publicly or privately about this. If you're a sinking ship with a reset inevitable at quarterback and or head coach, you take your offers for anyone, even the guy you're paying big bucks to play a replaceable position. Burn. Yes, they're a better team with McCaffrey as a safety valve out of the backfield, but they also have bigger holes that his departure could help fill. Even with an increasingly worrisome medical track record, McCaffrey could still fetch a decent haul as a 2-time All-Pro who just turned 26. The Panthers, meanwhile, would save at least $35 million from 2023 to 2025. Dude,
Think about that. Think about that bag, bro.
Can I say this? What big holes do we need to fill? Only know one: quarterback.
Linebacker.
I agree.
On offense.
Well, on offense. On offense.
Oh, no. How
We have a lot of holes. White Sox. We got a lot of holes, dude.
I know tight end and quarterback. That's probably it.
So how about this?
Best running.
Yeah. So look, I count quarterback. I count linebacker. How about this? We need another defensive end. We damn sure need another defensive end. Hey, we damn sure need another. We damn sure need another 3-tech. We need another defensive tackle in the middle that's more of a pass rusher and unstuffer to actually complement Derek Brown. So there are a lot of holes on this team. By the way, Xavier Woods playing strong safety. He's not under contract for very long. So and I know that G Baby brought this up one time too. The Panthers only have 4 draft picks. We only have 4 draft picks this year. If this is a sinking ship, and I already told y'all my plan, but if it's a sinking ship, I'm calling up our boy Brandon Bean up there in Buffalo and Sean McDermott up there in Buffalo. They're a legitimate contender looking to win right now. I'm saying, hey, bro, give me that first-round pick for CMC.
I don't think this is a sinking ship.
A lot of there's one team that's not being mentioned that I could see Christian McCaffrey going to, and that's the Denver Broncos, man. They don't trust none of their running backs. They just lost their star running back. That's his dad's team. He's from Colorado, Denver. Like I wouldn't be mad about that, bro.
I thought about that myself, but the Denver Broncos don't have any first-round picks for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
They don't have any second-round picks for the next 2 years. This year they have 2 third-round picks. They traded all that for the overpaid, too old to matter, crippled Russell
You're right.
I'd call up the phone for the Chiefs and the Bills. That's what I would do.
Let me ask you though.
The Bills, that's it.
What about the Packers?
Right in the middle got it.
The Packers.
No, the Packers got two running backs.
Yeah, but
the Packers got two running backs, don't they?
teams for the NFC Panthers.
I think that if you put him on the Packers, I think they would utilize him more in that receiver role when you have Aaron Rodgers.
Now I tell you what, we could take Dylan from him.
Dude,
They got
who?
We can't trade to the Bills.
Aaron Jones, that's his name.
I'm not saying
He's
that.
just fucking he's just a little bit more melanated than this fucking guy, dude. They got him already. Aaron Jones. He's the same player, bro. He's the same
he's a running back. Yeah, but
hey, Cody Lack. Hey, let homie talk, G. Hey, who is this bottom left? Bottom left on the screen, bro.
Yeah, that's
in
my
the
guy,
blue shirt.
Aaron.
Yeah, man. Hey, go, man. I haven't even heard you talk. G. Go ahead, G. Get in on this shit, G.
No, I just listened, and I agree with every single one. And I actually wouldn't mind seeing if we could snag AJ Dillon, because I was a very big fan of him coming out of Boston College, and I think
he's a bingo board too. He'll fit real good as a.
Yeah, I was about to say, in fact, we could have got him and kind of had another version of DeAndre Williams and Jonathan Stewart with CMC being the elusive back and AJ Dillon being that power back.
He's 6 foot 247.
By the
but
way,
then
on that same list, Robbie Anderson is also on a potential trade list.
We could trade him too.
I get rid of him for a bag of Doritos.
He's a guy. He's a guy we could trade to the Packers. To be honest.
So okay, we normally have people on here that are like diametrically opposed to trading Christian McCaffrey. White Chocolate, I think that's you. I know you don't want to trade.
Well,
CMC.
I'm not. If we're a sinking ship, yes, but I don't think we're that bad of shape. I think we need a quarterback and a head coach, which are the two biggest things. But I don't think trading CMC gets you that.
Yeah. But here's my issue though and I've know people online who will say that. On Twitter, they often say that. I understand that. Because if you look at the overall talent, I might agree. But a new head coach, I think it's going to be hard to find a head coach in the NFL that's going to come here and say, okay, I love your team. We're going to get us a quarterback. We're going to dot some I's and cross some T's, and we're going to the Super Bowl. Most by the time you bring a quarterback, a head coach is going to bring his own offensive coordinator, his own defensive coordinator. They're going to have their own ways they want to do things.
Yeah, I mean,
you'll get a per se. You get a coordinator comes in and says, okay, I don't like this guy over here because he's too flashy. He's going to say, okay, that's Brady Christensen's nice, but he's not a starting offensive lineman in my book right now. So they have their own ways of doing things, what they want to do, their own systems they run. So you never know what a new head coach may come in and say, okay, everything goes. Head coach may come in and say everything stays.
Well, that's why I interviewed with the GM.
Can we trade?
Well, yeah, but that's the question, though, Kevin. Let's be really honest. Come time to hire a new coach. Who's going to hire a new coach? Who's going to do the hiring?
It's got to be Scott Fitterer.
Can we trade CMC?
David Tepper.
Can we
David
trade
Tepper
CMC
did it last time.
The first round pick for Sean Bean. What is his name? Sean Bean, Scott Bean. What is his name?
You're looking at the last pick in the draft.
No, man, we're gonna win. Like, we're not gonna win that many games this year, anyways. We might as well just like we said, end of the year, get rid of everybody, clean house. No Baker, no Sam Darnold, and you get your head coach in there, and then you get a new quarterback, whatever quarterback he wants to go with in the draft, and then rock it with that. I mean, I don't see why you need to trade everybody.
What quarterback? What head coach do you think you all should get next?
That's a whole nother.
That is kind of another segment there.
No. It's not like it's not relevant. It's a lot of the names mentioned are like Sean Payton, Dan Quinn. You know what? I actually did. I can actually I can pull up a thing I found today about. There's Vegas odds already for who the next Panthers head coach is going to be.
What do you guys think of Kellen Moore?
Fuck no.
Fuck no.
Look,
I think he's a good play caller, but as a head coach, it'd be questionable.
Look what he's done with Cooper Rush.
What about the OC from Philly?
Cooper Rush.
Hey, Mike Tomlin will be available next year.
Mike Tomlin ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere.
I wouldn't even mind bringing. So look, these are the odds. These are the odds in Vegas.
Oh my gosh! Why would we trade a first round pick for a fucking coach, bro?
No, don't do that.
I swear, I will lose my fucking mind. If we trade away our first round draft pick for a fucking head coach,
no, we'll be trading CMC for the head coach.
So
don't do that either.
I'm not.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
y'all are missing out on an important topic here. Let's be real. If Scott Fitterer and Dan Morgan are told they are doing the hiring, and Tepper wants to stand back out of the way, you all know who they're going to call. The guy they work closely to in Seattle, and that's Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn.
That's fair.
Scott Fitterer's got to get the fuck out.
What about Eric Bieniemy? What do y'all think of Eric Bieniemy?
Time out.
I think he's the lead. I think he should be the
one at a time. I would say I'm very tired of not having an offense, or I'm tired of not having a coach that can call plays. Mm-hmm. Now he might be able to do it on defense, but Dan Quinn, sorry, I'm gonna pass on the coach. I'm gonna pass on the coach that authored one of the worst chokes in Super Bowl history.
No, who called the plays?
I'll pass.
Who called the plays?
Shanahan. Somebody named Shanahan.
Your most beloved guy. Your most beloved head coach, Cody.
Yeah, but I'd rather have Shanahan than Dan Quinn.
I tell you what. Let me throw this out there. Okay, if we have to trade these players, let's do this. Let's offer Robbie, CMC, and this year's first-round pick to the 49ers for Kyle Shanahan.
Hell no.
It's not going to happen.
No.
I mean, it's a fun exercise. I think it's a fun thought game, but it ain't going to happen.
So, Jim, you asked about Eric Bieniemy. I like Eric Bieniemy. I wanted to hire Eric Bieniemy the first time. Now there's all this back about he actually does or doesn't call plays for the Chiefs. Is it Andy Reid? Most people in that building say that Eric Bieniemy is the play caller, that he's the one that's calling plays. I would love that. I think if you paired this is the dream scenario. Imagine if you were able to draft a guy like CJ Stroud in the draft and pair him with an Eric Bieniemy.
Oh,
Dude,
stop with the Bieniemy mess.
No more Bieniemy. Yeah.
Stop with the Bieniemy. Man, look, I'm telling you, it's not because he's black.
The best offenses every year.
Oh, have you all had this discussion before? I didn't know if you all had, so I just thought I'd throw it out there.
There's a reason why.
What's wrong with EB, bro?
All right, number one. Did you see the player that came out and tweeted that?
McCoy.
Yeah, that he's always talking shit.
He's old, bro. That's different, bro.
He was with them for like 1 year.
Yeah, but there's a reason why the enemy's still. There's a reason why he's still the OC. There's a reason.
And he's not the OC. He's a fake. It's like saying that Joe Brady was when you he's passing game coordinator of the greatest offense in the history of fucking college.
So he just stands on the sidelines and just scratches his ass.
Yes, the mastermind is fucking Eric Reid, dude. There's a reason Joe Brady's name. I said Eric Reid. Andy Reid. There's a reason Joe Brady's name fell out of favor. There's a reason Eric Bieniemy's name fell out of favor. I'm telling you, that's not the answer. He's riding a coattail of somebody. It's like getting somebody from the Belichick tree. You just don't want none of them cats. Now I want to go back.
Andy Reid. Andy Reid has coaches that have actually made it in the NFL.
Yeah, let's talk about one. Deuce Staley. I'd rather have Deuce Staley.
I want Deuce Staley.
Yeah,
I would rather have Deuce Staley.
There's some rumors going around online, like all there always is, because of the Colts are kind of on losing season right now. That Frank Wright may be on the hot seat. Would you take Frank Wright?
Fuck no.
We do have a connection.
We do. Frank Reich used to be a former Panther.
First quarterback to ever start for the Carolina Panthers was Frank Wright. I want to go back before we get on this. Can we circle back to the Christian McCaffrey thing for a second?
Sure.
Yeah.
Did y'all mention Philly?
What about
Philly? They got Miles Sanders, dude.
That's the team, dude.
Yeah, I think Miles Sanders is like a top 5, like in rushing yards at least.
Isn't so? They're 5.
They got Miles Sanders.
Okay.
They're Gucci.
Okay.
They're Gucci, man. Hey, man, ever since Christian McCaffrey got that bag, man, ever since he slid into some fucking nice pussy in Olivia, bro, he ain't been the same, dude.
I don't blame him.
He ain't been the same, bro. When you sleep with him next to that every night, come on, bro, you get a little bit too comfortable, bro.
I will say this.
G baby, if you was Christian McCaffrey, would you be the same every morning?
He's number 2 in
Would
PFF.
you be shooting up fucking steroids every morning once you get $100 million, dude? Come on, man. That's not good for your body, bro.
Dude, so look, let me rein this back in. This is why you don't pay you don't pay running backs that kind of money.
Right.
Because it's
and we've gone through this shit with D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart, so we should have learned our lesson.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh well.
The same guy.
The
same GM who
it was
gave
the same
Jonathan
one.
Stewart and D'Angelo Williams their check.
Marty
Also was the one who
Herney.
gave Christian McCaffrey the check.
And
Hey, Cody.
They got 1,000 yards in receiving yards.
Cody, did I tell you I got the G baby button?
No, you got a button?
Bruh. Bruh.
You know you can sue him, right?
I like that. So, I mean, look, that's why Christian McCaffrey to the Bills made the most sense to me. They needed a running back. They needed a running back.
Oh, they haven't had a running game ever. Imagine Christian McCaffrey there, but you're right. You're not going to get a high first. You're going to need to get there first and like a fourth.
Second.
Ooh.
I would be okay with a 2 and a third for Christian. I don't think we'll get a first.
Nah.
I'd be okay with a 2 and a third, bro. I swear I'd be okay with a 2 and a third for Christian.
Why Big Jordan?
I think you asked for a first, willing to go down to a second. That's my thought.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, there are rumors that this offseason, the Bills called Scott want to trade for McCaffrey. Scott wouldn't take less than a first, and the Bills turned him down. If that's the case, it may still be that way.
If we had Jalen Hurts, would y'all be wanting to trade him?
No.
Exactly.
But you know what?
But Jalen Hurts and Christian McCaffrey play 2 different positions.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
Jalen Hurts is a much more valuable player than Christian McCaffrey. And
I'm saying if we had him on the team, would you still trade away Christian McCaffrey?
If we had Jalen, it depends.
Absolutely not.
No, if he's running the team well.
If we had
he's running the
a
team
top
well,
13 quarterback on this team, would you trade Christian McCaffrey?
No, obviously we wouldn't have to. No.
We know. So if we all should go, will we still be here?
But why would you? If we can probably get one next year,
because the problem is, again, it's a market thing. You have rid of your wild value, and there's a case to be made that Christian McCaffrey right now healthy and is being underutilized and is a 2-time All-Pro. Like, he might never have a better trade value than right now.
McCaffrey.
But at the very same time,
trade Christian McCaffrey.
At the very same time, a new head coach may like the idea of having Christian McCaffrey on this team.
I'm tired of being handicapped by McCaffrey. I'm
He's
tired
like,
of the,
we're handicapped by quarterback. No. We are handicapped by quarterback.
Yeah, we're not handicapped because of
okay, but
McCaffrey.
what I'm saying is, no,
if
I'm
you're
not
gonna
saying we're
draft a
handicapped by
quarterback and then
McCaffrey. What I'm
trade away his
saying
life, the
is
safety ball.
our offense for the past 2 years has been completely dependent on Christian McCaffrey.
Because we
And
have
it's
no
like
quarterback.
everyone knows that when the Panthers are good, it's when we have Christian rolling. And
Yeah,
even when it is rolling, we haven't
bro.
had a bunch of winning. We haven't had a bunch of winning numbers, even when he was putting up record numbers.
And coming from like
we drafted Cam.
Coming from a team who is a run first team, whatever that means, like a rusher doesn't add as much value to your team as he used to do like 20 years ago. Rushers just don't add that much value anymore. Running back.
Look at Zeke. Hey, look at Ezekiel Elliott, man. Look at Zeke Elliott, bro. Look at Zeke, bro.
What is he doing? Is he eating right now?
He's not doing very well.
He's trash.
Yeah.
He's bad.
Yeah, he's
He's
trash.
horrible.
Does he catch
Oh, I like this comment by why big. Hey, keep that comment up, Cody. Hey, Jahmyr Gibbs, man. I'm gonna tell you guys about this running back from Alabama, man. That dude's the next Alvin Kamara, dog. I swear to God, man. That dude's nice as fuck, man. And he could be going possibly in the second or third round, just depending on how the draft is. We have to get draft picks and build to the motherfucking draft, man.
And
Christian
think about this
McCaffrey
too.
has to go.
Nick
I
Chubb
wouldn't
was
be
a
opposed
second
to
round pick.
trading Taylor Moton either. I'd be okay with trading Taylor Moton. I'd be okay with trading Robbie Anderson, Shaq Thompson, all the motherfuckers. The only two I want to keep is DJ Moore and Donte Jackson because we have to keep somewhat of the young fucking players, man.
Well, I would say, you missed the Jaycee Horn conversation. Jaycee Horn's balling right now.
Man, Jaycee Horn, hey, man, hold on, man. Those stats are fucking fraud, man. Jaycee Horn blitzes more than he's in coverage, bro. Put the motherfucking in coverage, Bill Snow. Come on, bro.
30 yards, bro.
That's where Panther fans, to me, with all respect, everybody was bragging about the defense earlier. We have a great defense. Let's understand what our defense is currently doing to call themselves great. We are blitzing everybody but the defensive lineman because the defensive line can't get a pass rush. Eventually, that bites you in the ass.
Yeah, you're gonna
eventually it bites you in the ass. You can't keep blitzing.
That's 335, bro.
We repeatedly blitzed our safeties to get to this point. Now they're both hurt. One of them's on IR.
I did say that too, Pickle. That this
That's a
team is going to
big deal,
utilize
Pickle. I like that. I like that, dude.
far more this season.
Yeah.
But hey, hold on one sec, y'all. I want to welcome my man CL to the show. First time I believe we've had you on. CL, can you hear me? What's up, bro?
What's going on? Can y'all hear me at all? I've never done this before.
Yeah, you're good, man. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear.
You're good.
I just jumped on this podcast. I was listening to y'all talk about Baker Mayfield, and I wanted to get in on that.
We talk about everybody.
All right. So are you a Panther fan? You're a Brown fan?
I'm a Chiefs fan.
A Chiefs
fan. Okay. All right. Well, let me hear it, man.
Like I said, we talk about everybody.
So let me hear it.
Go ahead. I've got a question to ask you.
I've loved this podcast, but the one thing I'd say about Baker that no one's the offensive line is trash. They're doing 3-step dropbacks and passing outside, and that's why his ball's getting batted. I mean, his first 15 passes, it was 4 or 5 drops. I mean, the tight end's trash. I agree with that. The guy, I don't really know his name.
Jim.
Can y'all look up each other's names? But G, I think is his name.
G baby.
I love that dude.
G baby.
But all y'all do is spit facts. But I know Baker's not playing very well. I've seen him play well, but it just seems like everything's pointed at him, and it's not just him. If you just dissect the first 2 quarters, I watched it. Everybody plays bad. Like I said, he's dropping back 3-step drop back, and the linemen are 4 yards down the field or down the field. Nobody, even Patrick Mahomes, can't get that ball off. So basically, I think is that ain't nothing. I don't think y'all have nothing to do. I agree. Y'all probably need to trade Christian McCaffrey and get y'all something else. And
You just
Caleb,
want Christian McCaffrey.
huh?
You just want Christian McCaffrey.
Oh yes, I do. That'd be so awesome. God damn.
Hey, man. What
I wouldn't even be mad
what's
at
the
it.
story
Hey,
about Eric Bieniemy?
That's a great point. We were actually just talking about
That's what you should talk about.
Yeah, we were talking about Eric Bieniemy. You're a Chiefs fan. You're right on time. I'm a fan of Eric Bieniemy. I would love if this man actually got a chance to be the Panthers head coach. What do you
Get ready
about Eric Bieniemy, and why hasn't he gotten that coaching job yet?
I think they're trying to. I think they just want to. I don't really know why they haven't got a new head coach. They need an OC to me because his offensive schemes are horrible.
For the Chiefs.
For the Chiefs, I think we're fine. But
that's what I'm talking. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. A lot of Panther fans would like him to be our new head coach. So, do you think that Eric Bieniemy is worthy of being a head coach?
I think anybody other than Matt Rule right now. I don't know how Matt Rule got a job in the NFL.
He's a troll, dude.
All right, hey, that's his opinion. Go ahead.
I don't understand how we like we're gonna G Baby said. How many games you said we're gonna win, G Baby, this year? You said 2, right?
I said 2 fucking games.
You said 2 games.
I got clowned for it.
So no, and
yes,
you did. You did. But the thing is like, how are we gonna trade everybody? And like, I just don't understand why we would trade everybody. And like, if we're already gonna win only 2 games, I feel like the team's already pretty bad in itself. So let's just see what we could get in the draft this year. If we could land a solid QB, I think that changes everything. Just kind of like how Cody was saying. Like, I think getting a franchise QB covers a lot of flaws on a team.
I don't think this team's that bad though.
What quarterback do you want to see the Panthers draft? If I can just throw that out there.
I think CJ Stroud.
Either Stroud or Young. Bryce Young. Yeah. I want Bryce Young. One of those.
Okay, like beyond those two. Beyond those two. I mean, those are pretty obvious.
I don't want Bryce Young.
No Bryce Young.
I don't want Bryce.
No Bryce Young. No Bryce Young.
To me, Bryce Young is he's no taller than Baker. And
yeah, I agree. I'm not sold on
Bryce Young. 194 pounds.
So
he is literally 194 pounds.
There's Caleb Williams at a USC, and there's Quinn Ewers at a Texas.
Yes, and I do like Hayden Hooker for Tennessee. I also like.
I like him too.
I like the Ohio State quarterback. What's
Stroud?
Levi.
CJ Stroud.
No, not the Ohio State quarterback. Levi, who's he play for, Cody?
Will Levis.
Yeah, Will Levis.
Kentucky.
Levi.
That's where I'm from.
Yeah. Anyway, I like him a lot, but he's got some issues here recently, but he's still pretty
He's
good,
very his comparison. He is so much like it's kind of disgracing Josh Allen to make this comparison, but he is like Josh Allen. Will he develop into what Josh Allen is? Josh Allen's sort of an outlier. You don't develop that kind of accuracy and talent, but he is similar to Josh Allen.
He coaches.
So no, I don't.
Coaching, yeah.
These guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But who cares if you don't got coaches to develop these players? Now you're looking at fucking wasted picks again, and now we're looking at another 10-year weird build.
That's definitely very important. What I'll say is this: right now, to me, the most complete quarterback in this draft, and I haven't done my evaluations. I'm the Panthers analyst for DraftTech.com.
If you say DJ,
I love the draft. Right now, CJ Stroud, that's my number 1 quarterback in this class, just because from everything I've seen from this man, he does everything at the highest level. He's very
Go watch a
athletic.
CJ Stroud interview, boys.
Yeah.
Go watch him talk.
Yeah. Baby, you stole the words out of my mouth, bro. Go listen to a CJ Stroud interview. Dude, CJ Stroud, he has it up here, man. He really does have it up. Like, he has the leadership. The guys want to play for him. He's a good dude. Like, he is right now QB number one.
I believe he's going to be the best player off the board.
Yeah, the height, weight, the arm, everything about him is on point. Now,
yeah, and I think CJ Stroud has bust written all over him, from my mind. Not CJ Stroud, sorry, Bryce Young. Like, he has bust written all over him.
Hey, don't sleep on Bryce Young, G. Y'all sleeping, man. Y'all better watch Bryce Young against Texas A&M tomorrow, bro.
It's not that Bryce Young can't do it.
It doesn't matter to me.
It's that if you're a quarterback and you don't have if you're a quarterback and you don't have elite level NFL traits, then you're gonna have to develop something to make up for that. Now, I do think Bryce Young is going to be a better NFL quarterback than Baker Mayfield because I think he throws a nice ball with touch on rhythm. But I really do think you have to worry about a 6 foot, 190-pound quarterback. I really do think they're going to have a hard time holding up to NFL pressure. And he's not very mobile. Like, say whatever you want about Bryce Young. This man is not going to take off for first downs. You don't want him to. His body's not built for that. Then my final quarterback I'll mention here, and I would mention Caleb Williams, like what J Baby said over there at USC, but I don't think he's eligible this year, G. I think Caleb Williams.
No, he's not. He's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore. He's not available this year, G. He's not coming out. He won't be able to come out. No, he's not. He won't be able to come out until next year after. Now, he will probably be the number one quarterback of that class. I mean, right now, the dude's balling out. USC right now is better than they've looked in a while. But then the number 3 is Will Levis. And, Jim, I don't blame you at all for blaming him to Josh Allen. The only reason that people would say that's crazy now is because you're comparing him to Josh Allen.
He scares me, Cody Lack.
Right.
He scares me, dude.
I'm not sold on him either. But what I will say is this. If you're looking, he's like the anti Bryce Young. In that he has some timing stuff that isn't on. He has some inaccuracies. But from a physical standpoint, I don't know if anyone has a better quarterback toolkit than Will Levis. I mean, this dude has the big time arm. He will run you over. He will jump over you. Like, this dude has all the physical capability to be a big time NFL. Then, and I'll let you go, Jim. To bolster that even more, he is the only one of those quarterbacks that's coming from a pro-style offense. So Will Levis is taking snaps under center. That is not something that C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, Hendon Hooker, they're not taking snaps.
Bryce Young does it. Bryce Young
no,
does
you're
it.
right. Yeah, no,
Bryce
I think
Young
you're right.
does it.
No, you're right. You're right. I think
Bryce Young does it. Bryce Young does it.
They do have him take some from under center. Yeah. But go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like Will Levis. I totally lost my train of thought here. But he's got all the intangibles. The 2018 draft, there it is. The 2018 draft taught us that you want to take the intangibles and the potential over what's the upside over the day one starter, right? That Baker and Josh Rosen and Sam Darnold were said to be.
Mac Jones about to lose his job.
Yeah, like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson were the projects, and they're two of the best quarterbacks in football.
And then look at Justin Herbert 2 years later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Justin Herbert was in a terrible Oregon offense, and there was almost no NFL passing concepts or receivers. And he's a 4.0 biology major. and you put him in an offense, and all of a sudden this dude's thriving. Like that's not a surprise to me. I will say this: like Bryce Young, he might be the better quarterback right now. But I do feel like in the future, Will Levis has the potential to be a much better, more complete football player.
If
for the modern NFL.
If Bryce Young has a comparison, he'll have to be more like Drew Brees than anybody else.
I said this on Twitter. If Bryce Young can somehow scheme himself to be coached by, to be coached by Sean Payton, he may have success.
And I just made the Drew Brees.
Yeah, because Bryce Young's success will actually lean more on his team he goes to than probably any other team. If you look right now, the Texans are the first pick in the draft right now. It's early, but right now.
We're number 2.
They will not pick.
We're number 2. We're knocking on the door.
But we are also tied at 2 with like 7 other teams. So but and of those, the nearest one that may get a quarterback after that would be Detroit. Maybe Vegas if they really serious. Vegas.
Golf is balling right now.
Yeah, golf is. But the Raiders aren't, and Derek Carr. There's rumors that they could trade him. So if the Raiders want
trade him here.
I'm not certain the Raiders would go quarterback. But if they would go quarterback, they could go with Young, being they've got that head coach down there. But the Young has to go to a team with a great offensive line. If he don't, he's going to be like Wilson up there with the Jets. He's going to be spending more time on IR than he is on field.
I think you're muted, Cody.
Yeah, I was typing. So I just thinking about these quarterbacks, it's just upsetting that we're already talking about it. I didn't want to be talking about the college crop of quarterbacks through 5 weeks. Like I really thought that this team was going to be better than that, and they just can't seem to do it. So I don't know. By the way, YB Jordan, he asked me would I prefer Will Levis or Matt Corral, and that's the thing. Like, I am a big believer in Matt Corral. I know a few of you aren't. I know G Baby wasn't. I don't know about now. I don't know why G Baby would think so now. But my thing is this though: if you're looking at a player like Will Anderson in the draft, who looks to be a premier pass rusher, what is the opportunity for you to just draft a Matt Corral right now, and then put Will Anderson on the team to bookend Brian Burns, and just see what you got, man? I wouldn't hate that, but it all depends on what quarterbacks are available. I will say this, Jordan. I do feel more confident about Will Levis's body taking on the brunt of a full NFL schedule. And that's just being real. That was one of my only critiques of Matt Corral, is that I don't know if these lower body injuries that he continues to sustain, I don't know if he's going to continue to have those or not.
And I think that was the only real negative for him too. Yeah.
Cody?
In the draft, like the draft scouting. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah.
Cody, so Will Levis's offense, his head coach last year, now he's the offensive coordinator for the Giants. Will Levis's offensive coordinator this year is the head coach. So, they're basically moving these guys up the line. And this guy, 2 years ago, he coached for Shanahan. So he's in the program, dude. He knows NFL football. You see what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about, Will Levis. We're trying to get him in the fucking program, get him going right here. Now we can run a wide right scheme. I don't even know, bro. Fucking just run some basic NFL offense with coaching that we know that has been in NFL before. Both of these guys were in the NFL
right.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
Both of you guys were in
and
the NFL
that
2
is
years
that
ago.
is the benefit to Will Levis. Like I said, is that he does come from a very pro-style offense. So the jump that the quarterbacks have to make going from college to the NFL, it doesn't have to be that big if he's already doing that kind of stuff. Now, granted, another thing I don't know is what kind of talent Kentucky has at receiver. I mean, I know that they got some deep threat guys, but I don't know if they have any real separators down there for the Wildcats. So again, man, like this whole season's gonna have to play out. These quarterbacks are gonna have to separate themselves. Like Pickle said, you're hearing a lot about Hooker from Pickle.
Hooker's in Tennessee.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I know his last name is Hooker.
Yeah,
and
Hayden Hooker.
Yeah, Hayden Hooker. And you have guys like Anthony Richardson, who also had a lot of hype coming out too. Like these guys still have to, these guys still have to separate themselves.
Richardson hasn't been playing well recently.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like at the end of this season, I'm gonna watch all of their film, and I'm gonna do a breakdown on all of them.
One thing I want to say about Hayden Hooker. Hayden Hooker is playing good. Now, I'm biased. I'm a Tennessee fan. I'll just admit that. But also, his number one wide receiver, Tillman, hasn't played in like 3 games. He's been hurt. Just had surgery, matter of fact. So, add that to it. He's not even going. He's performing really good, but he doesn't have his number one target out there. So, and
but
he's still,
Pickle. But I'm saying we don't care about his receiver in high school or college. We're talking about Jaycee. We're talking about DJ Moore. You know, this guy can get open, dude. He's open.
Well,
He's open.
Yeah.
So we don't care about his college receiver. His college receiver's ass, and this guy's college receiver's ass too from Kentucky. So who cares about those guys?
Well, he ain't thrown to DJ Moore yet.
The program, dude. Huh?
Yeah. You have to project.
No, but I'm saying, I know what you're saying,
you're
but I'm
projecting. Yeah. You have to project these guys into the NFL because
I hear what you're saying, bro. But I hear what you're saying, bro.
Look at Justin Herbert. That guy didn't have any NFL wide receivers when he was playing at Oregon. I mean, that's just a fact of the matter. But now you give him Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and oh shit,
you project Mike Williams to be that guy. He's that guy.
Yeah, so I see what Al's saying. You know, and that you have to project all of these players too. It even goes to a Bryce Young. Like if Bryce Young, I don't think that his body is quite built for the NFL game, and he's hurt right now. But I mean, hey, if this dude can get the ball out on time, on rhythm to DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey, then maybe he could end up being what Baker Mayfield to be in this offense. An on rhythm, on time quarterback that is actually accurate and making plays. I don't know. Another thing is we're going to have to make sure that we're in position to be able to draft one of those guys. Because you're not drafting a CJ Stroud or a Bryce Young unless you have a top 5 pick. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter, man.
I think y'all look at the next year's draft and go to Caleb Williams. I think y'all need to build a little bit more.
But here's another thing. The one thing with that is you might build your way out of. So let's say you get a Will Anderson and then Matt Corral is good enough this year, and then you're picking between 17 and 18 next year. Well, that's not Caleb Williams territory, and then you're talking about trading an arm and a leg to go up and get that kind of player. So again, that's why I think people kind of give tanking a bad name. Not that coaches and players do it, but from a front office perspective, if you have assets to be traded away for more draft picks, it's more likely you're going to lose that games if you're trading players away. So,
but how many of us had Malik Willis in the 3rd round, though? You know,
who?
How many of us had Malik Willis in the 3rd round?
Oh, man.
Like,
probably not too many.
Players drop.
I hear you. No, I hear you, man. We have no idea where these guys are actually.
Yeah, some of the folks projected high now, by the time the combine and all that's over and the actual draft here, they won't get drafted.
I mean, I'm looking at Anthony Richardson's numbers right now. They're not good. I remember
they're not.
But Malik Willis, and I mean that entire quarterback draft wasn't ever like, I don't know.
Touted.
It's kind of funny. Like
Well,
we started rating them highly, but I mean, in retrospect, they were never that great of prospects.
The best rookie quarterback so far that's got a chance and actually played really good is Bailey Zappi. That's kind of.
He might take the job from that.
That's
He's the only one who's played. What rookies have played? Well, Kenny Pickett's played a little bit. Is there anybody else that started the game?
No. Malik Willis had garbage time, but he sucked at it.
Yeah, but
he
he
looked
wasn't a
awful
rookie,
then.
though.
Yeah.
Malik
Let
Willis.
Trey Lance play a game. Every time he gets in the game, he gets hurt. Trey Lance. And this is a top 3 pick.
Yeah, they traded up.
And it looked like shit. And it looked like shit before he even got in the game, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They still had to force him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So look, what I'll probably do is we'll take some score predictions. Oh no, you know what we gotta do? We still gotta do them prize picks, baby. We're talking about. So we can actually break down this game a little bit using prize picks. If you don't know, you're about to know. Download Prize Picks today and play daily fantasy sports with us. Make sure you use promo code C3 when you sign up. All first-time users that deposit C3 and use our C3 promo code will receive a $100 instant deposit match up to $100. If you deposit $100, Prize Picks will give you $100. If you deposit $50, Prize Picks will give you $50. I've been loving Prize Picks. I'm not winning quite like I want to. Kevin is like the only guy that I know that's like gotten some. Well, no, not that. I shouldn't say the only guy. I do have C3 fans that are telling me how much I'm making, but we just got to get one of these picks in, bro. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look up the Panthers, and we're gonna see if there's any good entries that they got. Before we go, I'm gonna start asking for some final scores. Pickle, give me your final score and a breakout player.
35-14, and the 49ers win. Our breakout player will be Ike Ekwonu.
Okay. Ike's going to have a good game. And what was your final score again?
35-14.
35. So, dude, that's a good number.
Yeah. I think 49ers win, but I'm just now reading of all those who are going to be out. All the 49ers are going to be out. They're missing Kinselaw and Armstead both.
They've been missing though. I think they were missing.
You're right.
I think they were missing last week too. They got Baker Mayfield at 90.5 passing yards.
Yeah.
Oh. Wait. How much?
Yeah.
100. Under
one. You would say less or more?
Less.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. What about
at least?
Let's say Christian McCaffrey. They got Christian McCaffrey at 52.5 rushing yards. Would you take more or less at 52? Now their run defense has been pretty legit. Am I correct in saying that?
73 yards a game.
73.
I'm pulled up right now.
Man.
Yeah. Run the
wow. By the way, shout out to Just Don't Care for the $5. Appreciate you, Just. Now we can also look at the 49ers too, and see what they got going on here. But they got DJ Moore at 50.5 receiving yards. Has DJ even crested that one time this year?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. To the last 4 games, DJ Moore hasn't gotten above 50 receiving yards. Embarrassing, man. God, that's embarrassing.
And he's gotten 1,000 the last 2 years, right? At least
3 years.
Yes.
Last 3
No,
years.
3
Okay,
years.
yeah.
3 years
Yeah,
in a row, he's been
dang.
1,000-yard
Yeah.
receiver.
That's pathetic. Yeah.
And
yeah.
you got to understand though too, who his quarterbacks the last 3 years have been.
Oh yeah, I wasn't blaming Moore at all.
Right.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
just saying,
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying that
Yeah.
It's,
No,
it's,
for sure.
No, but you know what, Pickle? That's a pretty damn bad indictment, considering who our quarterbacks have been the past 2 years, and yet somehow DJ Moore is even worse.
Yep.
What are we doing?
That goes without saying. It gives credence to those who are saying that Sam would be better than Baker.
Yep.
I'm not all for starting Sam, but you can't really argue at that point.
At least he was getting the ball to fucking DJ Moore, man.
The good thing about Sam Darnold is he is taller.
He did.
And he's athletic too.
Yeah,
he can run. Like he can run.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last year.
I did actually see one better ball game.
If Sam could throw DJ Moore 1,000 yards against a pathetic offensive line we had last year, he should do real good this year if he ever gets out of
He didn't do it. It was Kyle Allen. It was Teddy Bridgewater. It was like so many more people besides this guy, bro. I mean, this guy, he had 4 games, okay. But he's not the best, but I want to see him now play. I mean, I just made an argument for this guy, but no. I want to see Sam Darnold play right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to go 52, God, should I just go full optimistic? Just do 2 picks and do less for both of them? Dude, that's a no offensive day. That is a miserable afternoon. If this is what ends up
They're not
happening.
running the ball, so why would he get 52 yards? They ran him 8 times.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this will be the one fucking time
to
that they do.
CMC's credit, CMC, who the media said often doesn't do this, but he did say that they are fixing these issues. I got to give that. I got to shout that out. CMC, who don't often do this, he did say that they are working and they are fixing these problems.
To be fair for CMC, I guess a good thing to ask is he going to get 100 total yards? Because he's averaging at least 100 yards per game this season, total yards.
Yeah, 90
rushing
yards
and receiving. Yeah, so that's an interesting question to ask. Will he continue that?
What's his total yards? Is it 90?
He's got 270 rushing and 138 receiving yards.
If they gave you credit for batted balls, like which quarterback's going to have the most batted balls, you can win, Cody.
Oh, dude, for sure. You take more on that entry. Yeah. You got to. I'm just gonna go with 2. Damn, that's an abysmal day, but we're gonna do it. I'm gonna try and turn my $20 into 60. Oh, I'm 2 players from. I must include at least 2 players from 2 different teams. See, now why did it let us do that before? Where it let us it would let me do like a whole ticket of Panthers. All right, so let's check the 49ers. Let me get some more predictions here.
Debo 120 plus total yards. Debo 120 plus total yards.
I'm gonna check them. Kev, give me your prediction.
Oh, my score prediction for the game? I say 10-17 49ers.
$10-17?
Yeah.
That's a pretty low scoring game. I hear you though. G Baby, what's your final prediction for this game, bro?
I don't know if we'll be able to score a touchdown.
So what we got?
I'm just being honest.
Coming up. Yeah.
I feel like they'll probably put up 17 points. I feel like they'll probably have over 150 yards rushing, 200, bro. Man. After what I just seen them do to the fucking Rams on primetime football, bro, the 49ers are for real, man.
Yeah, but the Rams are trash this year.
The Rams are a whole lot better than us.
I mean, their offensive line is dog shit.
It's not good.
I don't know. I think we could beat the Rams.
The Rams suck, dude. The Rams suck.
I didn't say that.
Well, we play them motherfuckers next week too. So
you know what else though? The Rams don't have a first round pick for the next couple years. So
sucks
they
for
trade
them.
them all away.
They got a ring though.
If we keep Scott fit, we gonna be just like these other motherfuckers, man. That dude is horrible, man. Scott Fitterer was the worst thing to happen, bro. I swear to God, that dude is trash. Fucking horrible.
Hey, so y'all, Deebo Samuel at more than 55 and a half.
That's easy money right there.
That's
easy money right there.
Easiest of money. Easiest.
Receiving or total?
I think it's
receiving or total.
That's receiving.
What's total? You got 20 rushing yards. They don't get their running back. That might be
total. Well, they have him at a pass. Dude, that's easy money right there too.
What?
He just
if he gets any kind of touchdown.
They got Deebo with 20 rushing yards. I mean, they don't have a running back really, do they? He might be getting used.
Yeah, I mean they use him. Man, it's do you do let me ask you this: which one would you feel more confident about? Deebo Samuel at 55 and a half receiving yards, or at least one touchdown?
Deebo going to get in the end zone, I think.
So you think he's more likely to get in the end zone to get that one to get 55?
Yeah.
Just for reference, last week against the Rams, he had 115 receiving yards. Against the Broncos, he had 73, and against the Seahawks, he had 44 receiving yards. Just for reference out there.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. So he's been over that the last 2 weeks.
Take the medium.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let me see. Okay. This one doesn't even have a stat. So I think I'm gonna go.
What do you think about George Kittle? 3.5 catches. I mean, he's having a down year, but that's still George Kittle, man.
Oh, that's a good one too. 3.5 receptions.
And
so
if Jeremy Chin is out, if there's no Jeremy Chin, Kittle's gonna eat.
Yep. Hey, Twan Don, what's up, bro?
What's good, man?
What's happening, Twan?
What's good, guys?
How you doing, man?
Look, man, the Carolina Panthers fucking suck, man.
Oh, for real?
You know, I mean, these Kumar y'all come together moments, trying to hype horrible fucking players up. Kill that shit, man. We got to stop doing that shit, man. We don't have no fucking quarterback, period.
Yep.
And without a quarterback, the team is dead. It's dead. You know, Baker's fucking horrible. Don't try to make Sam Darnold sound like he's any better. Fuck all that. It don't matter who's out there at this point, man. We got the most embarrassing quarterback room of all times. The head coach,
it's pretty bad,
the owner. I heard G-Baby come out of Scott Fitterer, man. That shit ain't no fucking Scott, man. Tepper allowed a power struggle, man. You don't make your head coach. You don't give your head coach all that fucking power. Especially not Matt Rule. It's a power struggle, man.
He's Viserys.
Frit is waiting his turn, man. If he ever gets it.
Cody got it.
Of course I did. Of course I did. Yeah, he's
you listen to the S that I put in this. Listen to the S that I put in this. The Carolina Panthers suck.
They definitely
We
do.
just gotta be honest with ourselves, man. As far as DJ Moore, I love him to death, man. But if we're gonna be honest with each other, DJ don't get a lot of separation.
Yeah, but DJ ain't been the problem.
But DJ don't get a lot of separation. DJ always catches his balls in traffic.
Yeah, but Baker can't get him the ball in traffic.
Exactly. So, I mean, what the fuck? You got Baker or Sam Darnold when he gets back, or PJ Walker. I mean, does he get better? Anyway, does he get better?
How do we know that Sam Darnold's not better than Baker?
Sam Darnold is bum juice.
He played behind a
So is Baker. So is Baker.
That's what I just said. But look, the thing is, we don't have a quarterback, man, at all.
That's why you run the ball, but they don't do that either.
Everybody knows that we're gonna load up on Christian McCaffrey. Christian ain't gonna make it through the year, man. I hate to tell y'all that.
We ain't loaded up on him yet.
I hate to tell y'all that shit. He gonna get hurt again.
Well, I know that.
But by that, I'm only gonna be here quickly. But by that trade line, if they don't trade Christian McCaffrey, man, then that's them.
But wouldn't you want Christian McCaffrey with your rookie quarterback?
It's getting to be that time.
With CJ?
And by the way, I don't know if I shouted this out earlier. Just don't care with the $5. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, man. So look, let's get these final game predictions.
I'm on my G baby shit. We fucking
G baby, everybody's on your shit now, bro. Everybody agrees.
It's okay to say it, man. It's okay to say it. We suck.
And we know.
Hey, but why don't you think hold on, so Twan, while we're on the situation, why don't you think we should fire Scott Fitterer? Now, by the way, hold on. I would agree with you in that I don't.
No, I didn't say it. No, Scott shouldn't be fired, man.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So I'm playing devil's advocate here. Who says, well, Baker Mayfield, Teddy Bridgewater, and Sam Darnold, these were all quarterbacks that Scott Fitterer brought here.
Man, listen to this, guy. Listen to this. I'm going to be done with it. Listen to this. That was the best Scott could get to come to this team. And Matt Rule picked those guys. Matt Rule had a hand in picking those guys, man. He thought Baker Mayfield was going to be his savior.
Scott Fitterer did not bring in Teddy Bridgewater. Marty Herney did.
Right. Well, then there you go.
Marty Herney brought in signed Teddy Bridgewater before he cut Cam Newton.
Hey, but Pickle, guess what though? The Carolina Panthers suck.
Yes, they sure do.
Because we don't have a fucking quarterback.
We don't have a head coach either.
The Carolina Panthers right now is a fucking Bugatti with no engine.
Yeah.
And no tires.
You can't do shit with it. It just looks good.
No steering.
Why I don't trade CMC?
No,
we get CJ Stroud.
Shit over here. All right, so look, let's get everybody's final game predictions. I appreciate everybody for being on here, man. This has been a great.
Hey, let me go first, man.
Great
go,
show.
man.
Go ahead, Twins. Talk.
48-3, San Francisco. Fuck David Tepper and the Panthers right now, man. I'm not spending another dime on these bitches until they do something with Matt Rule, bro. Shout out to G.
I hear you, man. I hear you loud and clear, and I don't blame you. And I'm hoping that that's enough. Maybe if it does happen, maybe that gets us the new head coach that we're looking for, man. Jim, I want to thank you, man. You have been awesome this entire time. You've asked fantastic questions. You've given us some great insights. I love having you on, man. I know you're a Browns fan, but give us your honest prediction of the Panthers and the 49ers this Sunday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I really do like the Panthers defense. So my final prediction, I'll go with 20-10 for the 49ers. That's just I think that'll be a good ballpark, right? I think 20-10 for the Niners. Yeah.
No, that seems completely reasonable. And it's like you can see that happening too. And
Yeah.
I could see this game being decided in like the third or fourth quarter. Like it might even be close for the first half of the game, but then our offense will just not get anything done, and it's
but also, like, just to be optimistic on some level for the Panthers. I mean, the Broncos did beat them, like
11
I don't
10.
know, yeah, like so I could see the Panthers also winning 13-10 in some like weird defensive battle, but I think it'll be 20-10, something like that for the Niners. So.
All right, awesome. I appreciate that, Jim. Next up, who we got? Eric 37. Eric, happy you could be on the show today, man. It's kind of crazy. You gotta fight your way to get in a word edgewise on the free for all. But I appreciate having you on, man. Give me your final score prediction, and give me like a breakout player that you're hoping has a big time game.
Yeah, it's fun being on here, and I'm glad I got the courage to join, and I hope I can do more in the future.
For sure.
And I'll say San Francisco 21-10, because it seems to be a common theme is our defense just holds the other team's offense, and then eventually they just get tired, and then that's when the other team's offense strikes and makes the big plays to seal the deal.
We get another pick six in this game?
No, that's a reasonable pick.
And I'll say Brian Burns is the standout player. He'll have 2 sacks. I'll say.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, we definitely need some pass rush, man. I hope Brian Burns can. I got a question. And their left tackle was hurt. Didn't you tell me that, Kevin? Their left tackle was out.
Well, I got a question. What are we gonna do when this kicker of ours keeps making kicks? Are we gonna keep with Zane?
We're gonna have a kickoff.
It doesn't seem like he has a lot of range, though.
I think the last one he hit was like a 50-yarder.
We run into this problem once.
I like him
when we drafted this guy named Butker, and
don't remind me.
And we had Graham Gano, and we decided that we didn't want neither one of them, and we sent one to the Giants and one to the Chiefs, and we didn't got nobody after that. Now they both kind of the best kickers in the league, and we suck.
Dude, the Harrison Butker, we were cursed ever since we traded him away. That kicker position has been cursed for us, but Pinheiro is.
Well, we didn't even really trade him. He got picked up our practice squad. We kind of gave him away to the Chiefs. Like, we don't want him. Go ahead.
Yeah, and over Graham Gano, who we got rid of anyway.
Yeah, that's Marty. That was another Marty Herney decision.
Yep.
It was.
No, it certainly was. Good riddance. Thank God Marty Herney is out of the building.
He up there helping Washington out.
Oh, yeah, he's helping out Washington now with our old pal Ron Rivera, who, by the way, is also on the hot seat, apparently. Hey, who do y'all think is fired first, Ron Rivera or Matt Rule?
It better be Matt Rule.
Matt Rule, hopefully.
Probably after this game.
Yeah, Matt Rule should be. Yeah.
Maybe the Denver head coach.
Hackett.
Couldn't hack it.
Hackett just couldn't hack it.
I don't know that he's got anybody behind him who can fill the job.
Panthers are averaging more points per game than
I would honestly say Matt Rule gets fired first. But hey, you know what? I still like Ron Rivera. I take Ron Rivera over Matt Rule, but there's no way anybody goes back. There's no way Tepper goes back to Ron.
Hell no, he won't do that.
Well,
I still think it would be cool for just momentum's sake if Ron could ever go back and coach the Bears.
I never thought they'd bring back Cam. So
Rivera was actually who I wish I was kind of like rooting for the Browns to sign or to hire Rivera back in 2020. So I don't know. I like Ron Rivera.
One thing about Ron,
we did too. It was Ron Rivera was pivotal to our best years.
One thing about old Ron, if he becomes your head coach, you know the shit's hitting the fan because every time he goes somewhere, the shit hits the fan.
Yeah,
He's left out.
too.
He's left out front to take all the heat from everybody else who don't want
Yeah,
it.
he's the front man. He's the one that's gotta do the press conferences. But so that'll be it, guys, for another edition of the C3 Friday. You already know what it is. It's the most fan interactive Panther podcast that there is, for the fans, by the fans. We want your opinion every Friday at 7 p.m. I have been your host, Cody Lashley. I will see you guys this Sunday for the post-game show. Hopefully we won't be so depressed, but we probably will. So tune in for your therapy session. I got love for everybody. Keep pounding.